Hello all, once again, BrawlFan1 here for yet another art stream. As been the usual little guess pattern for these. I'm starting by myself, but then eventually someone from my chat will jump in whenever they feel like it. So to get things kicked off, I'm pretty much going to continue on from where I was yesterday, and I'm going to continue finish the commissions that I still need to get finished. I finished one of them. And I'm well over, I think, probably around halfway done with the other one that I was working on yesterday. So to start things off today, I'm going to go ahead and finish up Cloudy's Sprite Commission. And then once I finish that, then I'll finish up Crosby's commission. So once more people start showing up, whether it's in the chat or within my Discord call, we'll see where things pick up from there. Check we are live, correct? Yes, we are. Cool. All right. Hey there, Aaron Beasley. Need to offer the question. Will you talk about the beta element of different games? I'm afraid I don't understand your question. Like, what do you mean? The beta elements of different games? You may need to reiterate. You may need to reiterate that. 'Cause I don't quite understand your question. I mean, what went unused in different games and altered gameplay and graphics that changed before release? Like, are you just referring to, like... Hey, Ryoko. Are you just referring to, like, just in general about any game? Or, like, are you talking about a specific game? Because I know literally every single game in existence has, like, its own beta elements, but I don't really know enough about them. I guess it really depends on the game. I mean, yeah, plenty of games go through their own beta elements, but I don't really have much to say on them. I'm more concerned with what the end result was than, what was in testing. That's just me personally, though. Top 5 favorite Sonic games? Let's see here. Let me think on that one. Who entered?
Hi.
Hey, Kenshi.
I have entered.
That'll be you.
Sup? Oh,
Eh.
I'm eh.
Okay.
How about you?
I'm doing alright. I'm gonna start off by finishing Cloudy's commission, and then after that I'll finish the commission I was working on yesterday.
Alright, makes sense to me.
So Ryoku asked, top 5 favorite Sonic games. I'm trying to think on that one.
Top 5 favorite Sonic games. Chow Garden 2, Chow Garden 3.
Wait, there was a Child Garden 3? I missed that one.
I literally wish they would just make a game that's mostly the Chow Garden with the Sonic stuff being mini games to get like the animals and the rods and shit like that, because that would be so much fun.
Indeed.
Fucking sell like gangbusters.
Have I ever played Super Mario Sunshine? Yes, I have. That was I think that was the first ever GameCube game I got.
I did not play that one.
You are being invaded by a British person.
Hey, Matt.
Oh, jeez, no, not the British.
Hello.
Hello, Brian.
All right.
How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Yourself?
Doing okay.
Cool.
Yeah, so I guess Matt, you're probably the bigger Sonic guy here. I guess what would you say?
Oh, I mean, his icon is seriously just Sonic, so it's like.
What would you say your top 5 favorite Sonic games?
Ooh, okay, that's a juicy one. Okay, so favorite one, Sonic 3 and Knuckles. So second favorite's Generations. Third, I'd say SA1. Fourth, I'd say Colors, and fifth, I want to say either. What do I want to say? Either Sonic 2 or maybe Unleashed.
Okay.
So fifth one's hard, but I definitely know my top 4.
Sonic Adventure 2 doesn't even make top 5?
No, honestly, I think SA1's better.
You know what?
I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, but Sonic Adventure 1 is a glitchy mess.
Yeah, so is SA2.
Yeah, in all
Not-
reality, SA2 is as well, to be honest.
I can understand that, but SA2 has at least significantly fewer times that I fall through the floor.
No, I'm gonna have to rebuke you on that one, buddy. There are
I mean,
plenty of-
personally speaking, I have rarely fallen through the floor in SA2.
No,
And again, you're one of the guys who apparently never played Sonic Adventure, not Sonic Adventure, Sonic 06, and didn't have any glitches come up. So
no, I didn't, because I experienced more glitches between SA1 and SA2 than I did with Sonic 06.
which is weird considering that I've watched people try to play Sonic 06. So, it hurts.
I've beaten it like.
I'm probably just one of the lucky ones as well.
I've beaten it like 4 times. I played 06 more times. I played 06 more times than necessary. So, and most of the glitches I encountered were on purpose because out of experimentation.
Like, I like Sonic 06's story. Well, Shadow and Silver story. There is no Sonic story in Sonic Adventure. Not Sonic 06. There is no Sonic part in Sonic 06. I refuse to believe that it exists.
06's story to me is completely awful, but there are some decent moments in it, but for the most part, it's laughably bad.
I remember.
I mean, yes, but at least enjoyably.
Something I still need to finish. I remember like a long friggin' time ago. I started like making like my own like little like I actually went and attempted to rewrite Sonic 06's story.
Like, I like the idea of what they were doing with Shadow and I like the idea of what they were doing with Shadow and Silver's stories, because those were actually like interesting. Like Silver's ruined future. I still don't get why Blaze was chosen of all people, but I liked her part in the story, and of course Shadow's whole story involving Mephiles being this interweaving mess of convoluted time paradoxes, which is just hilarious to me because fucking with time is always just fun to watch people do. Because they never seem to get it.
I think my favorite thing about Blaze in that game is you know, I actually can't think of nothing because she didn't do anything in the story except kill herself.
I mean, she was there for Silver, which was interesting.
She was there for Silver, but she really doesn't do anything. She just stands there.
The whole point of her existence in that game was to give a retcon as to explain how they find a way to get rid of Iblis, and they were
retcon which to this day still annoys me.
Yeah, they were literally just like, you know what, we have a princess who also happens to have fire powers. Why don't we just use her? But then like.
Actually, from what I heard, they didn't even realize that Blaze appeared in another game when they picked her.
What?
Most
Where-
likely,
No,
06
yes,
and
Where-
Rush.
wait a minute. Where do they think they came?
picked Blaze.
Where do they
They
think
just
she came
picked
from?
Blaze,
Then?
not realizing she was already part of another story involving the Soul Emeralds, which is funny because if you think about it, Sonic 06 directly ties into that Blaze because the Soul Emeralds could actually be the remnants of Solaris.
Where the hell do they think she came from? Though?
I don't know. They're idiots. Everybody involved in Sonic 06 was a fucking moron.
Did they just see her poster like up in the office and it was like, I haven't. And they never heard of Sonic Rush either, and it was just like, oh, she looks cool. Let's use that character design.
Yeah, that's
Most
pretty much
likely it was because 06 and Rush were developed around the same time, and probably by different teams who didn't really know what each other was doing.
Pretty much, from what I understand, they're a bunch of idiots.
Speaking of which, interaction.
Yeah, the things didn't go quite according to plan for them, because all we know is it went through development hell, and basically the game we saw in the trailers was actually a version that wasn't able to be completed on time, so we got a beta-ist version instead.
That's I never actually answered the question that I was asked regarding my favorite Sonic games. I know this is gonna sound really weird to a lot of people. I think my favorite Sonic game actually probably is Sonic Chronicles. And the biggest
Chronicles?
reason, the RPG.
Really?
The reason for that is because it is an RPG. Because I'm just a huge RPG nut. I love games, where you can level up characters and the more you do, the more you the more you do, the more you and the more you do in the game, it's the more powerful your characters get. RPG elements are like a type of high for me. Like just completing a level and then that's it. Like the character's core gameplay doesn't actually change. Aside from a few enhances here and there. Like I don't know, that doesn't really quite do it for me. For most of the time, I love a character being able to actually grow through gameplay and progression.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I can understand the appeal in that myself, especially since I'm a big fan of Pokemon. Naturally evolving your Pokemon, getting the better moves, getting to the higher levels so your stats increase. I can get that, but I also can understand the joy of just mastering a game, which is one reason why I've always loved Zelda games, because you don't really get stronger except for a few key upgrades like the improved sword you get at some point and shit like that. But I do love, just being able to figure out and master all these different bosses, using all this gear to fight these things.
Yeah, that's pretty much why Breath of the Wild and Hyrule Warriors are the only Zelda games that I actually, was able to pick up and actually continue liking. Hyrule Warriors obviously because it has those RPG elements in it, and Breath of the Wild because that's literally a game, where everything you do leads to the progression of Link getting stronger. Literally everything.
Yes. And I do love how you mentioned Hyrule Warriors, because actually before Hyrule Warriors was a thing, I was actually a big fan of the Dynasty Warrior series, particularly the Empire games, because that's the game where you can actually conquer China and have just straight up constant army fights, not have to be bogged down by story, and I fucking love those games. I always like to find the nicest sword that anybody has and use that. Like in 5, there was this really fucking busted katana where if you spam this one combo over and over, you can basically stun lock even the strongest fucking bosses.
The new Dynasty Warriors is going to be open world from what I've seen.
Oh jeez, of course it is.
It's the first time they've ever attempted it, so that could go either way.
That could go either way. Personally, I prefer the Empire games. So
I like the spin-offs. I'm more like One Piece, Pirate Warriors, and Hyrule Warriors for me.
Yeah, I liked Hyrule Warriors. It was fun. I just wish there was a mode where you could conquer Hyrule.
Missed opportunity.
Yeah,
Missed opportunity for Hyrule Warriors Kingdoms.
Yeah, but overall RPGs are just in terms of video games, my biggest high, and what I explained before. That's actually one of the big reasons why one of my favorite games is Rune Factory, because literally everything you do in that game adds to the growth and makes your character more powerful. Even fucking walking around increases your health and magic points.
But I can understand the love for RPGs because they're like my second favorite genre of all time. I adore RPGs to death. Some of the best games I have ever played are RPGs. Those being Persona 4, Persona 5, Xenoblade Chronicles 1. I love RPGs. They're incredible. But to go back to Chronicles for a second, that's an interesting choice because, like, for me personally, I love RPGs. Chronicles is not the best thing I've ever played. It's fine, but I think that its biggest issues are its graphical design's a bit odd. The music is absolutely abysmal.
Oh,
And
okay. I will not lie when I say yeah. The game looks the game is not the greatest in the eyes. I wasn't really paying attention too much attention to the music. In fact, majority of the time, that's not really an issue for me because majority of the time when I play games, I usually have unless I'm playing the game for the first time, I normally keep it on silent anyway. So.
well, be glad because Chronicles soundtrack makes my eyes bleed. I mean, ears. I don't know how a body works. Sorry.
Are you seeing sound and hearing color there, Matt?
I think I am now. Yeah, I just realized I might be an alien.
You could have that weird
The
medical
colors.
condition for that one episode of House.
The colors feel so bright.
Yeah, there we go. But no, that's interesting. I don't know a single person in this day and age who even likes Chronicles. So you're a rare breed.
I like the idea of the story, especially considering the fact that echidnas are just such an underexplored part of Sonic, despite Knuckles being there for like ever. Like
Yeah,
the only other species that has been ignored harder has been foxes.
Funny you mentioned both echidnas and foxes, two species that are not in Sonic Forces, which is, I understand echidnas, but foxes is like, where's the foxes?
Where's my fox? I want my tail.
I'm honestly a little upset that hedgehogs are a species you can be because you know that's the one everyone's gonna friggin' pick.
I'm gonna make the hedgehog purely for joke characters.
Unless there's the wolf. If there's like some kind of canine, I'll pick that.
Wolf is. There are wolves because that was shown off in the reveal trailer.
Like the character shown in the CGI, that was a wolf character.
If that's a wolf, then I'm a teapot.
No, it's a wolf. But that said, have we actually seen what the hedgehogs look like?
No, not yet.
Okay.
We've seen. I think we've seen rabbits. We've seen wolves. We've seen cats. I think that's all we've seen so far. But all the species have been at least revealed. Which I can't remember all of them at the top of my head at the moment, so I shall research.
Like I know that there was like a bird, there was a bear.
Yeah, that's right. Bird and bear, dog.
Yeah, I'm curious why they have both dog and wolf. Like that seems a little. I know they're not the same animal, but like it still feels.
When it comes to Mobius, they might as well be.
Yeah, it still feels a little redundant to me, to be honest.
But yeah, well, we pretty much. There we go. Yeah, we pretty much named all the species in the game now. Like they have their own little abilities. Let's see. The bear blows away enemies with a homing attack. Birds fly high with double jump abilities. Cats keep one ring after being hit, which is actually quite useful because in Forces, when you lose your rings, they do not scatter everywhere. You lose them all permanently.
Really?
Yep, and there are no lives in this game either. You'll never see the game over screen because there's none.
Domingo Palico, thank you. I'm glad if I'm giving you entertainment and some visual pointers for you to use for your own stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a question. What is your favorite game of all time?
Paper Mario
me.
Door, hands down.
Oh boy, favorite game of all time. That usually just depends on what I'm in the mood for playing. If I had to guess my favorite game of all time. Honestly, I'm going to be a little cliche and say Minecraft is the one game I come back to the most.
Easy answer for me, Sonic 3 and Knuckles.
Yeah, for me, Paper Mario is like the one game where every single year, and it hasn't failed yet, every single year there's just a random moment where I'm just sitting here like, I need to play through it again. It's like a it's like a ritual for me.
Those are a sign that it's your favorite game if you're always playing it every year. For me, that's Sonic 3 and Knuckles every single year.
Yeah, I don't know if I've played. I think there was like 1 year I didn't play Minecraft at all, but most times I will be playing Minecraft at least once every couple months. So it's probably my favorite game.
Okay.
That would make sense.
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess Sonic Chronicles probably would be my favorite Sonic game. In terms of like the other four, I guess in no particular order. I love Generations. I love Colors. Um, I guess Sonic Adventure 1 and 2, because even though they were rather glitchy. Like for my case, I still enjoyed them when I played them. At the very least, I haven't gone back to them in a long time, but like I did enjoy them when I played them.
SA1, like it is one of my top favorite Sonic games, but I have replayed that game more than any other game I have ever played in my life, even more than Sonic 3. So that's the signs. Like for me, it's probably just nostalgia because that was one of my first Dreamcast games back when I was a kid.
Well, Adventure 2 is my very first Sonic game.
Well, I'm guessing that would be the GameCube one.
Yeah, it was the battle.
Yeah, that's the case for most people. I was like the odd one out and had the Dreamcast version first.
I played a little of the 16-bit era Genesis games when I was real little, but they weren't mine. They belonged to a friend. The first Sonic game I really owned was 2 Battle. No, I did get... Yeah, because I did... It was either the GameCube remake of Sonic Adventure 1 or Sonic Adventure 2 Battle, but I got both of those relatively close to each other and played them relatively regularly, especially because of the Chow Garden. I
know, like the Chow Garden was probably my favorite part of Adventure 2. That's probably the biggest reason why I went back to it a lot.
It's everyone's favorite part, minus Some Call Me Johnny.
Yeah.
No, I'd say, but the Sonic levels are what kept me coming back, and the soundtrack and the story and all that. Like, I like the Chow Garden. I played it a lot as a kid, but I guess if I were playing it nowadays, I'd mostly just play it for the main story.
I spent so much time in the Chow Garden learning all of the secrets of the half-breed chows and stuff like that.
You know what? I think the biggest reason why the Chow Garden is my favorite part of that was probably because, like I mentioned, like my high for like RPG element type things. The idea of raising these creatures. Like I love games where you can raise multiple creatures like different ways and like make them stronger as you progress. Like
yeah,
that is a drug that I get addicted to very fast when it comes to games. That's why I love Pokemon, why I love Yokai Watch, why I love Digimon, why I love Rune Factory. Like games where you can tame monsters and train them. Oh my god, I can't get enough of that shit.
I hear you. I can definitely empathize with you there because there's definitely something satisfying about that. Like one of the things I really did enjoy the most about Chow Garden was that it gave me an excuse to play the other levels. You know, because it's like you have to go and get, you know, the animals to make the Chaos Chow and the rods, which you can use the glitch to basically max out their stats in a matter of hours. You know, it's things like that that make me that made me keep coming back. That and they're just fucking adorable. Sure. I also managed to get. Oh man, I spent hours on the Game Boy Advance Chow Gardens without an actual Game Boy game. You know, the ones you can actually preload into the Game Boy using the connection cable and then just basically leave it plugged on the charger overnight so we can build up and get all of the gem chows, including the fucking Onyx Chow, which is 20,000 rings in a mini garden that doesn't have a lot of ways to easily make money.
Mm.
Anyway, Domingo asks, what's our favorite Nintendo 64 game? Mine is Kirby 64.
There was this tank game, and I cannot remember the name of it. My friend had it, and he let me borrow it a lot, and me and my dad used to play it together a lot, and it was just this game where you drove around as a tank. You could choose various tank types, and you went around blowing up other tanks, and it was fucking awesome. Basically, it was at a post-apocalypse where 99% of all women had died, and the remaining men all fought in tank wars to get the women.
Yeah, you know what that was? That legitimately probably would be what would happen if it was a post-apocalyptic with very
well,
women.
You were the good guys. You were actually run by a husband-wife combo, and somebody came along and apparently converted half your army against you by using black magic of some fucking kind, and it was fucking ridiculous.
My favorite N64 games, Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Never played it. I keep hearing it's this funny, over-the-top thing, but I find Conker to be absolutely disgusting.
That's the whole point.
Yeah, that's not really my thing.
It's very funny. Like it's very British humor. That was done by Rare, of course. So you can expect a lot of like typical British humor, lots of toilet humor, and some jabs at the fourth wall every now and again. What I like about it is not only was it funny, but it had so many different genres within itself that it made it quite refreshing to play every now and again because it's always a different scenario.
Oh,
Let's see. Ryoku asks, "Do we expect to see dialogue and cutscenes for future Mario games?" I'm assuming that.
No,
Sunshine.
I
Guess,
doubt it.
Maybe, I don't know.
I mean, there was already some dialogue and cutscenes in Mario, but I don't expect it to be as heavy as you would expect it to say Zelda or Final Fantasy.
as long as they don't do it like Mario Sunshine, then I'm good.
Well, it was also technically in 64 if you think about it.
Yeah, because there were small bits of dialogue, but they were very brief. There weren't too many cutscenes, but they just stopped the pace of the game every time something happened.
Yeah, to be fair, Sunshine was kind of the same. Like there were voice acted cutscenes, yeah, but they weren't really that dominant.
They were awful in a fun way.
They're at max for like maybe 7 cutscenes in Sunshine. There were not that many. Like, not enough, I don't think, for people to really make a big deal about it.
I think Nintendo realized that they probably are never going to try voice acting in a Mario game again unless it's like little grunts and whatnot.
Yeah, that like pseudo Italian thing that Mario does in like the side games.
Yeah, I think if you just keep it the way it is. I think Mario games, you play them for the gameplay at the end of the day, so it's not too important to have like loads of dialogue.
Meh. It doesn't matter to me one way or another.
Oh dear. It's starting to get dark over here.
Oh yeah, you're like way across the world.
Yeah, halfway. Well, it's 9:05 at the moment.
That's a third of the way difference from me because it's 1:05 over here.
Mm. Yeah, I actually did go to America once in my life. It was the best part of college. It was New York City. It was very good. So I checked out the Netflix Castlevania show today. It's excellent. It is absolutely excellent. I just wish it was longer than 4 episodes. I need more.
Well, if it gets the ratings it needs, it might get more episodes.
Season 2's already been confirmed.
Point made.
Yeah, they've on the day it came out, they already announced Season 2, which will be double the amount of episodes that are in Season 1, so next year we're getting 8 more.
Neat.
They must have been really
Confident.
Yeah, confident in themselves to announce a new season right when they released the first season.
The quality really shows, honestly. Like, for a video game show, it's surprisingly really top quality. Like, you've got anime-style animation, which, while it isn't anime, looks very much like it. You've got Hollywood-style actors from, like, The Hobbit and Battlestar Galactica in it. It's a retelling of Castlevania 3 storylines. It's really, really gory. I did not expect it to be as gory as they made it out to be. But when they have when the producers have the tagline off the show will be R-rated as fuck, then they weren't kidding. No kidding, that was the actual quote from the producers.
Well, they definitely delivered from what I hear.
It's extremely R-rated.
At least they made the most out of that R rating, unlike some people.
No, I think it's worth watching. Like, you don't have to be a fan of Castlevania to get it. I think you'll probably find something entertaining in it. Question: have you ever indulged in fan fiction? I have, mainly for humorous purposes with a friend, just to read really bad ones and read them out loud and like laugh our heads off.
Yeah,
But otherwise,
I
not
wonder,
really.
I wonder if they're more referring to the idea of writing fan fiction.
yeah, that's what I was wondering too. Like, are they asking?
I
Oh,
have.
that kind. Yeah, no, I don't actually think I have. I mean, writing is actually a strong thing of mine.
Well, no, Matt. You technically have because I consider the video I consider the sprite videos that I do and that what you used to do as a type of fan fiction.
Very true.
It is in a way. I have indulged in both videos of that caliber and actually fan fiction proper a few times for various fandoms. Some safer the work than others.
Yeah, I've never actually read a fan fiction. Like obviously I've seen like I've watched.
I've read a few.
I guess if we are counting, fan made fan made animations or series and stuff, I've watched them technically.
Yeah.
That's the closest I'll ever get to that, yeah.
I've actually read a few fan fictions, some good, some not so much. Some creepy, some completely bonkers, and some just clearly written to pair two people together and have them fuck.
Top 5 worst ships in existence. Now, are you talking about fan ships or canon ships? Like relationships that actually happened that people think shouldn't have happened.
I think when most people think of ships, they think of fan ships, because if it's canon, it's not really a ship at that point. I mean, it can be, but generally all ships are fan ships because you have fans for those ships.
See, my whole thing is like there are very few actual ships that I actually have that don't end up being canon. Because I know my big ones were Phineas and Isabella. Guess what? They got together when they grew up.
Well, they're asking what ships you think are the worst.
I know.
Which I would assume.
I know. That's what I'm getting to. Like, I really don't ship characters unless they're so obviously going to be a couple.
BJ, it's not about what ships you ship. It's about what ships you've seen that you think are the worst.
Kenshi, you're not letting me finish.
I know, but it's like that feels so unrelated.
But that's the thing, though. Because of the way that I ship characters, I don't bother with very many others. So because of that, I don't really pay attention to other people other ways that people ship characters. So because of that, I don't really know any ships that I would consider bad.
I would recommend next time explaining that you don't know these ships and then why, because it felt kind of weird hearing you say, "Oh, because of all the way I ship." It came off really weird. That probably should have been flipped. As for me, I can give a few, I think I could give a few ships that I think are the worst. Let me think, because I know there are some that I.
You know what? I guess if I'm gonna pick some, I guess I can pick some that I do. There's one in particular that I just recalled. Anybody shipping Garnet with somebody.
Okay, I suppose that
because Garnet is her own relationship, so there's no reason to ship her.
I would. While this is true, she is both the product. She is a relationship, and she's also her own being at some point. So it is very possible for Garnet to fall in love with someone separate from Ruby and Sapphire.
No, do you recall the episode where Jamie fell in love with Garnet?
Just because Garnet didn't fall in love with Jamie doesn't disprove my point. It just proves that Jamie's really fucking sad. Because, Garnet's point is that love doesn't happen at sight. That doesn't mean Garnet is incapable of falling in love with someone. It's just she, being the product of love, would know better than,
That would be.
I feel
that'd be really weird though, because that would in turn mean that Ruby and Sapphire both fall in love with the same person, which would.
I will only have. I will point out the following person: Fluorite.
Well, you mean that giant caterpillar-looking girl?
The one that's literally 6 gems in a relationship.
I think that case is just that's supposed to represent a polygamial relationship. Like
but
all those
that's
gems,
just my point.
all
that
those
Garnet
gems love each other.
Yes, but the thing is, it's not impossible for that to happen with Garnet. I don't think that Garnet would be shipped with anybody in the show as of yet, but I'm just saying it's not impossible.
I can think of one ship that I don't like. Saint Anne in Pokemon, it sank.
Wait, what?
Uh,
Repeat that? You're laughing, but I didn't hear him. What did you say, Matt?
The Saint Anne, because it sank.
Oh well. That wasn't you to say.
I don't know why I laughed that hard. Because I love wordplay. I'm trying to think because I know there's a few I don't like. Fuck. Sans and Papyrus. That's fucking stupid.
Well, any ship that involves two siblings is just dumb.
Well, yeah. Any ship involving Undyne and a male character. So there's those two. I know there's Rouge and Knuckles. Rouge and Knuckles.
That's actually a good one, Kenshi. You're right.
But here's my thing. I could totally see a relationship starting between them. I just do not see it lasting. Because they're just so different. I can see the bonding over something, thinking they fell in love, do something, and then just breaking up. It's not a lasting relationship. It's not a relationship that really can blossom into anything unless there's evidence that either Rouge or Knuckles changes more drastically in the future.
I remember that I remember that being a thing that they brought up in Chronicles, where like Rouge makes like a passing comment where how she thinks that Knuckles is kind of cute, and then Sonic like calls her out on it, and she's like, "Yeah, he's cute, but I don't think it'll ever actually be a thing."
Yeah, see, that's my thing. I'm more of a Shadouge fan personally.
For a more serious answer for me, I have none really. I don't really think about ships ever.
Trying to think of two more because I know there's a couple others. There was this one I remember hating so much because it's absolute nonsense. Because I'm pretty sure the girl in the relationship was raped, and I can't remember who the fuck it was. But that kind of situation.
No. Wait, if you bring that up, Joker and Harley Quinn. That is an awful ship because that's an abusive relationship.
That's true, but that's not the one I was thinking of.
Okay. That is an example of a worse.
Pretty much any ship that is abusive is bullshit.
Yeah.
Especially if it's very clear that the abuser is, not intending to improve as a person at all. Trying to think of the various ships. Oh.
Just in general, like I can think of thinking of just like in general like example, like maybe not specifics, but like just broadened ones. Like sibling ships are always just fucked up. Abusive relationship ships. There's another one I just had in mind. Like you brought up with Undyne earlier. Trying to ship characters who are obviously out of their sexual orientation.
Now, I can sort of understand characters that don't have an established sexual orientation. It's fine to play around with, but when you have a character with an established sexual preference, yeah, that's not cool.
I do know what you mean on that one, because I know like the big example I could think regarding that would be like with Kingdom Hearts and my ex, because she ships the hell out of Roxas and Roxas and Axel. Like she shipped the hell out of like making a polygamous relationship between Sora, Riku, and Kairi. But none of them actually have a defined sexual orientation. So because of that, it's all up to interpretation. It also doesn't help. Well, I guess wrong choice of word there. It does help, I should say, when Nomura himself straight up said none of them actually have a defined sexual orientation. Go nuts.
Yeah, obviously, stuff like that. I can't think of any other ships. I can just think of pet peeves. Like abusive ships. The one thing that kills me was you had a lot of people who were really cool with Tracer being a lesbian, and then you had all these guys saying it was a waste of a beautiful woman. That shit
Really?
drives me nuts.
Yeah,
Like,
I know what you're talking
Jesus.
about. It's like, ugh.
She's not there for you. I mean, I know she has a nice ass, but you can appreciate a nice ass and have it be on a lesbian. I mean, they're admiring the same rack of tits you are. At least you have something in common.
Like I said,
admiring tits.
I remember I think we talked about this actually, in a previous stream where, when it was revealed that Tracer was canonically gay, there were three types of people overall that got upset by it. The people who wanted to ship her with somebody else, and not just the fact that she was revealed canonically gay, revealed that she was also canonically taken. That she has a girlfriend.
Yeah, she does. I remember the
three
widow.
Types of people got upset that day. The people who were upset that she was just gay. The people that were upset that she had a girlfriend. Which means they can no longer with good confidence ship her with Widowmaker, which I didn't even fucking understand to begin with in the first place.
It's just a fucking stupid ship.
Yeah.
Of course, people. The third group was probably just, I don't know.
Yeah, there was the gay bashers. There was the
shippers who now had all their ships broken.
Yeah. I don't know why. It gives me great joy to see people's ships get broken like that. It just makes me laugh.
I could sort of understand the idea behind Tracer and Widowmaker a little bit. The idea that maybe Tracer could bring Widowmaker's humanity back to her, but it's honestly, it was more fun after that point with all the people poking fun at the ship being broken than anything else. You had "It's Over, Isn't It?" with Widowmaker, or "Bonjour from the Other Side."
Jim Sutter, welcome. You didn't miss too much, right? We're just chatting it up, and then I'm gonna try to finish up these commissions today.
Yep. Let's see here. If no one's asked it, I guess I should ask what 5 ships you think are the best.
My biggest ships, like I said before, I loved Phineas and Isabella.
Yes.
I'm a big Beast Boy Terra shipper. I know.
Are we talking the original Teen Titans too?
Well,
the original,
not the comics. I know how Terra is in the comics, but
in that animated series,
I'm talking about the animated series.
Yeah, I hear you. I was big with them too in that series.
I guess, yeah. I'm a big Mario Peach shipper, big Daisy Luigi shipper. I'm a big Ash Serena shipper.
Obviously, you were fucking eating that up like a fucking starving man.
Which ended up being canon too, which made me super excited because Serena actually kissed Ash.
Or so we think.
No,
I'm not the biggest.
No. The developers confirmed that was a straight up kiss.
I'm not the biggest fan of I don't look for ships I support, but if I had to pick one, even though it will never amount to anything in the future anyways, I'm gonna have to go with Ash and Serena as well.
Yeah,
I thought that was actually very charming.
It was, because for one thing, I guess I should say personally, that was the first Pokemon ship that I ever did that I ever did, because it's I never really saw much between Ash and Misty. May was blah, Dawn was kind of blah. Iris obviously nothing. Serena was the first girl that actually showed real emotions to Ash.
I don't know. She was just a well-written character.
I mean, I agree with May and Dawn, and I don't even think I want to even comprehend Iris. But I was an Ash Misty shipper way back when, because they did have a close friendship, especially by the end of things. Pokemon 2000 and stuff like that.
From what I researched for shipping between Ash and Misty in the show, that was more of a thing the dub pushed. It was only very minor in the original Japanese.
Yeah, well. I grew up on the dub, so excuse me.
So did I, but then I watched X, Y, in Japanese, and I'm like, yep, okay, this is superior in every single way.
Indeed.
Yeah, well, who knows?
Which
Anyway,
cartoon was the most painful to watch, aside from gore, religion, etc.? The most painful cartoon to watch?
Ooh, that's a
I wouldn't
tough
be able
one.
to. I wouldn't know how to answer that because if it was tough to watch, I have stopped watching and forgotten about it.
Yeah, same. It's like if it was like more than likely if it was like I don't know. It's a hard thing to explain, but like I'll have to think. I'll have to think on that one.
Uh, I suppose I could say later MLP because I was big into MLP, and by about the fifth season, it just started to reach that point where it was getting to be slightly repetitive outside of the important episodes. So it stopped being fun to watch for me. So I guess that's my answer. But take that for what it is me trying to think of an answer. Because I don't watch anything that's intentionally painful. If it's hard to watch, I'm not going to watch it, and then I will probably forget about it until somebody reminds me of it specifically.
I can't think of anything at the top of my head right now, so I'm just going to say something out of the blue, but it's probably going to make most people hate me forever. Steven Universe.
Really?
Yeah,
Why?
I tried to get into it because like everyone was hyping it up. I'm like, all right, I will out of curiosity give the first 5 episodes a go. I didn't want to watch anymore. I just found it incredibly boring.
That was your problem. You only watched the first 5 episodes. The beginning is very slow, but it
That's
picks
the
up.
thing. It was just
It picks up as the thing.
It's a thing. It's like I gave it a chance. I didn't really like any of the characters at all. So it just wasn't winning me over.
Okay.
Fair enough.
But that's
Also,
what I can really say at the moment.
as much as I'm a
More
fan
Steven
of
Universe for
Steven,
us.
as much as I'm a fan of shows like Steven Universe and stories like Homestuck, I will always say saying that something gets better later is not a good argument. It may be true.
Yeah, it isn't.
It may be true, but if that's your only good argument, you probably don't have much of an argument.
That is a very good point, Kenshi, because it's like it's one of those things where it's like people, they try to say, people always say never judge a book by its cover, but that's literally what everybody does. The first impression is always the most important impression, and if that first impression doesn't win you over, it's going to be very hard to win you over after that.
Yeah,
very true.
For me, I found that the reason I still got into Homestuck, even though it is slow, is because even though it's slow, it's got this odd intrigue about this odd little world that they're creating. With this video game that can manipulate the fabric of reality itself. It's like, okay, you've got me intrigued on the premise of the world alone. I'm going to keep slogging through this, so as long as you do improve, I'm in. With Steven Universe, yeah, it's a little slow, but I was intrigued by the idea of these giant gems fighting other even bigger gems. It's like, why is one of these a ballerina thing with a spear? Why is the short stack purple? Oh wait, that's an amethyst? Okay, I need to know more. And what the heck is with Garnet? She's cool.
Yeah,
I want to know more.
Admittedly, my reasoning for putting up with Steven Universe Adverse is a little more shallow. It was because my girlfriend watched it. My ex-girlfriend, I should say. Because she was there was one day we were sitting outside of our professor's office, waiting for our, what's the word I'm looking for? It's when we were waiting for them to help us decide our classes for the next semester. Our student councilman, I should say. There we go. And she was telling me a little bit about it, and it was one of those things where it's like, okay, it does sound like, based on what she's telling me, it does sound a little interesting, and I would like to be able to watch it with her. So I gave it a shot, and this was when only 30 episodes were out, so it was up to the point where we see I watched all the way to pretty much when I first got into the series was when the latest episode at the time was the episode with the videotape from Rose. And sure enough, it was kind of that last episode that really helped draw me in, because that was a very emotional episode. So
I can think of 2 shows I really enjoy that have a very slow start, but if you were to stick around, it gets really good. And for good examples, I can pick Breaking Bad, which is something I still yet to finish, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Both are fairly slow to start off with, but what I liked about that is that they spent all that time introducing you to its world and characters, which, if you're going to have a slow start, at least gradually introduce your audience into your world and mythos, and then you might be on board for the whole ride.
That's pretty much what Steven Universe does.
Yeah, again, first impressions are everything, no matter what kind of media, so...
Yeah.
Aside from Colors Onward, which Sonic games had the best story, and what do you think the story will be? Like, are you asking like which Sonic games do we think have the best story, and then what do we think Sonic Force's story will be? I'm still on board with the idea that the entire story is just Boom Eggman's fan fiction.
I'm curious what the whole story could be, given the fact that Chaos is back, because Chaos hasn't actually appeared in anything,
Aside from Battle,
as far as I know, outside of Sonic Adventure.
Battle.
Force's story is probably the most intrigued I've been for a Sonic plot since it's been such a long time, because like since Colors they have toned it down and made it a bit more kid friendly, which I'm totally fine with, because the Sonic franchise is a cartoon about a blue hedgehog beating up a fat man, putting animals in robots, so take what you're given. But now Forces, I think, is probably the most intriguing one so far, just because all of this crazy stuff it's doing. Like, why is Shadow evil? Why is Chaos back? Why is he bad? Why is Zavok back? Because I thought he was against Eggman. Metal Sonic, that makes sense. And then this new villain, Infinity, what are his powers, and what has happened to make Eggman rule 99% of the world? It's crazy. Like, that is, like... the most intrigued I've ever been for a Sonic plot since probably Unleashed, because I still say Unleashed has the best story in a Sonic game. Mainly because with Unleashed, it found the perfect tone between lighthearted and serious, where it didn't. None of the either tone overstayed their welcome. It was just right, and I think if Forces can handle that, then you've got me sold.
Hey, Foolish Tunes. Now, aside from just what I've been working on in some of our conversations, you didn't miss too much. Can I cheat and say that my favorite Sonic story is Sad I Am? I cheat.
I can see why. It is good. Except it was never finished.
Unless you read the Archie comics.
Yeah, which I didn't have access to, because being from UK, I had the Fleetway series. Which ended far too soon. I think it ended like back in 2001. And that was like the only comic I was ever buying every other week. So after that, it left quite a big hole in my heart. Whereas now the Archie comics is likely to be cancelled this year, because there's so much going on in the background that could mean that it will be cancelled.
Yeah, saddening, unfortunately.
Which sucks, because it's the longest running video game comic in existence, and to have it end before it even gets to its 300th issue is sad. Especially since the spin-off series at the moment, Sonic Mega Drive, which is being done by the artist who did that Sonic Mania pre-order trailer animation, it's not even finished yet. It only has one issue to go, and it still hasn't come out yet. And that sucks, because his animation style is like the best rendition of classic Sonic there's ever been.
I'm still wondering why the
classic Sonics and Forces.
Yeah, that's it. Brain just kind of stopped halfway through a thought.
Yeah, no one knows why he's in Forces story-wise, but the fan base, I could tell you things. Like, the fan base absolutely despises Sonic Forces right now. It's on its way to be one of the most hated Sonic games, and it hasn't even come out yet.
Why is that?
Oh, okay. They hate the idea that Classic Sonic's back. They despise him being there because they feel it was unnecessary.
Fucking make up their minds about that goddamn hedgehog, can't I?
I know, it's like, all these years where there's 3D games were going through some rough times, they're like, just bring back Classic Sonic. He comes back in Generations. This is awesome. He comes back in Forces. I hate him. Get him out. But like, their argument is like that they feel like they're using Classic Sonic as a crutch for modern Sonic, and plus with Mania coming out, they find his presence to be unnecessary rather than just to be a crutch. And then like the character creator thing, surprisingly, that's not overly negative, but for the hardcore fans, they hate the fact that the custom character exists purely because it's taking spotlight away from playing as other Sonic characters, which is what everyone wants to happen again. But then, if you were to do that, they want like the different gameplay styles back. The thing that they were complaining about for years because it didn't focus on the core Sonic gameplay. It was because it was completely different, and now they're all saying they want it back, which is why I'm like, I'm glad I'm like a die-hard fan who has a bit of sanity in his brain, because the Sonic fan base is completely unpleasable. I'm sorry. You can't do anything with the franchise without them complaining about the smallest things. Like the funniest complaint, right? When they revealed the E3 footage of Forces, the people were complaining, right? They said the HUD design, it makes this game as bad as Sonic 06. I'm like, you're saying that a HUD menu in a game is worse than 06. Are you actually joking me?
Here's the thing I've come to notice about fandoms. If you really go back and look at who's complaining, 9 out of 10 times when you have contradicting complaints, they're actually from completely different people.
Mm.
Like,
but
sure,
then, yeah.
this part of the fandom will complain about this part of the fandom will complain about that. But usually they're completely different parts of the fandom, unless you have one of those people who just wants to complain and troll for the sake of trolling and complaining.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's like, people will, the people who are complaining are obviously going to be the loudest. The people who are fine with it, they're not going to say a goddamn thing.
Because they don't have to.
The thing is, though, people on the forums I go to, they want to say things about the game they like. Like the ones who are legitimately excited, honestly, they feel too scared to speak up and say why they like it, because they're going to get like bogged down with reasons as to why they're wrong. And it gets pretty aggressive the further that continues, to the point where like even like the forum mods have to shut down entire topics just because it gets so out of control.
You see, that's why I just choose not to care. I'm gonna buy the game. If I enjoy it, cool. If not, I'll return it and just be done with it, or just give it to Sophia and be done with it. Like,
Yeah, I hear you. For me, it's like I know people say, oh, this fandom's this fandom's that, this fandom only complains. I have met more people who aren't these complaining, whining people than I have actually met complainers, because the complainers are just seeming to be there to complain. Very few people seem to actually believe the shit, because their arguments are just incredibly too stupid to be real. And even if they are real, these people are just knowing that they can be loud, they can type in caps, and they can post 10, 20, 30 times to every one post you make, because that's what they want to dedicate their energy to. Usually, it is just some idiot with a megaphone saying that his opinion matters more because he has a fucking megaphone. But in reality, most of the fandom is not this bad. I know a lot of people like to think that, like, the Homestuck fandom, the Sonic fandom, all these fandoms are completely irredeemable groups of nonsense. But in all reality, it's just a very loud minority. And unless people start actively trying to patrol this actively loud minority, it's always going to seem that way. Because no one wants to actually do anything about it. They just want to let these loud people be loud because it's either too much of a pain, or it's just not in their interest to do anything about the image of their supposed fandom, because they don't give a shit.
That is pretty much dead on point, really. Like, the loud people are always going to be the ones who you see the most.
Exactly. Just like you always see the person who complains about... you always hear the people who are complete gun nut supporters for the Second Amendment more than you are the actual people who say, yeah, the Second Amendment's fine to exist, but we need to put some more rules in. Because the people who are actually being rational about the whole thing are very quiet, because they're trying to be rational. They're trying to have a civil conversation about this, while you have the gun nuts shooting in the air and screaming yeehaw and you ain't taking my guns. And of course you're going to pay attention more to that because it's loud and obnoxious.
Exactly. Like, the thing is, they're going to complain so much about this goddamn game, but they're going to, they're going to buy it anyway on release. So what does it really matter at the end of the day? Like, that is always going to be the case. These fans are just like, I hate everything this franchise does, and I still love this series. I'm going to buy it anyway and show them my support by giving them my money.
I laugh because I still remember when Sonic Generations first came out. People tried starting a boycott with that was going to be all like, we're not going to buy Generations. Instead, we're all going to buy copies of Sonic 1 to show where the
that was during Sonic 4.
Was it Sonic 4? Okay,
It
regardless.
was Sonic 4.
Regardless, it's like it was a dumb campaign because okay, yeah, we'll show them where the money really is. Sega's just like, cool, thanks for the money.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's like you're not boycotting shit.
It was like, I hate you, Sega. Take my money. But no, I am obviously looking forward to Forces. I've been a Sonic fan for 23 years now. I'm gonna buy every single Sonic game that comes out at this point. I love the series too much to leave it, and it's not gonna change anytime soon. I can't wait for it.
I'm looking forward to it mostly because it looks like it's gonna have those RPG elements that I really like. Maybe not traditional ones, but like with the custom character, because it looks like you get more equipment like the further in the game you progress.
I believe that has been confirmed, yes, and they have said that you can make your character look as ridiculous as you want to when you unlock certain parts. Like, you can have some of the funniest looking characters.
Cool.
So knowing me, I'm probably going to try and make Bubsy the cat in honor of his return.
Because Bubsy the cat was on the return, sure.
Yeah. I'm no lie, that new Bubsy game, I'm probably going to buy it purely because it exists.
People keep automatically assuming it's going to be bad. Like, who's to say?
That's the thing.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing, BJ. From what I understand and what I've seen, and actually looking at the game and trying one, the only good one was Bubsy 2. Like, the first Bubsy was a mess. The 3D one was,
just Satan's asshole.
Thank you.
Hold on.
Bubsy 2 was the refined one. So I don't blame people for thinking it's going to be automatically bad because Bubsy doesn't exactly have a stellar record to begin with.
No, and that I completely understand, but like we are in a new age at this point. So
I'm hopeful that it will be a good game just because it'd be interesting to see a character, make a comeback and actually be good after basically not being good. But I'm not gonna say Bubsy fans should hold their breath because
Bubsy has fans?
From what I understand, yes.
What?
Bubsy has become kind of a meme icon.
Anyway,
yeah, but I get liking him purely because he's a joke.
Real quickly, Codebox42 asks another Sonic, or not really asks, he's adding to our statement. Another Sonic Forces complaint is how they're using Sonic's friends, and with Classic Sonic being in Mania, making his appearance in Forces redundant. I think Matt already brought that up earlier.
Yeah, but I guess for Sonic's friends, though, yeah, they're not playable. However, I actually like how they're being used this time around because in Generations, you were there for about 5 seconds and they're just saying, well, that looks like a homing shot. That looks like a homing shot.
Wait, how are they being
constantly.
How are they being used in Forces?
In Forces, they're actually going to be talking to you through radio, and like instead of just telling you the obvious, like you got to press the A button to jump, they'll actually talk about what's going on during the level, like they're progressing the narrative as you're playing.
Oh, so is it implying that your friends are like actually like even though it's just implying that they're doing the level as well, just like through a different road or something?
In a way, yeah, because like it went in the level Green Hill, the desert one, where you're playing as the custom character, which has been shown off on YouTube several times. When you're playing it, the Sonic's friends in the background are basically giving the others information about we're requesting analysis on this like giant enemy crab robot. And then, like, you hear Silver, like, leave these guys to us, and we'll take care of the chemical plant.
Okay.
And stuff like that. So, like, they're doing their own thing in the background while you're playing. Like, you won't see them, but you'll know that story-wise, they're trying to do their own thing by fighting back the armies.
Which, given the fact that this is apparently in a universe where Eggman has actually won, that makes a lot more sense because you're going to have to fight on multiple fronts. So it makes sense that all these guys are off fighting on these other fronts. And you are important, but you're not the only part of this machine fighting back.
Which is nice because, especially the custom character, they're always going to be referred to as the Rookie. And basically their reason they're there is just because... they're like young, they're new into the scene, and they basically just want to help out. So like when the other characters are too occupied trying to take down some like Death Egg robots, they're like, well, you're our only chance, Rookie. You can do so. You take care of it while we help fight back.
That makes me think that it's probably going to imply that more than likely, it'll probably be something similar to like what Dragon Ball Xenoverse did, where like there's technically all these different soldiers, but like your custom character is just a part of that army.
Yeah, that is pretty much what it's going to be. I am hoping though, like At the end, if your custom character is able to go super with both of the other Sonics, I cannot wait for the fanboy rage, but I also can't wait the fact that think of the characters you could create. So like, I am probably gonna make like the most notorious fan characters out there. Probably Bubsy is like I want to imagine the final battle is like Egg is a Sonic and Super Bubsy versus Eggman.
Jeez.
I want that to be the case just because if your character can go super, just think of the hilarious possibilities. And and the cutscenes will affect your character's look as well, like many other games of its type. So they could have a really serious cutscene, and your character's just standing around looking completely ridiculous.
Oh yeah, that's like my favorite thing in video games. Like my ex loved doing that in games like Dragon Age, where it's a game with like a really serious like undertone, but she'd always made like the most ridiculous looking fucking characters.
I love that stuff.
I remember there was actually like a funny little Tumblr post that I saw where it was like serious moment in a game, but your custom character's just sitting there, and it shows like I don't know when this happened, but it showed like it was like a press conference, like on stage, like an important figurehead up there, but like to the side, just randomly was a fucking clown just standing there. Like, okay.
Like, I don't know what accessories are going to be in the game, but I think the only accessory I do know, which they did confirm a few times, is that you can have a Chow backpack.
Okay.
Like, be quite
the
cool.
accessories actually do enhance your character's gameplay, correct?
That is basically the weapon, because what they've done is they brought the Wisps back, which Azuka's already said that after Sonic Colors, the Wisps are here to stay. They're a permanent power-up in the rest of the series from now on. But the way they've done it in Forces is that they're actually tied to your custom character. Like, you have a weapon called the Wisp on, and depending what Wisp power you select before the mission, it will give you a different ability. So, say you choose the Burst Wisp from Sonic Colors DS, it will let you to make your weapon turn into a flamethrower where you can just, like, burn for everything. And then they've also shown off the Lightning Wisp from Sonic Colors DS, where you can use it as a whip, and then use it to do the light speed dash on rings.
See, that's actually that's a pretty nifty idea.
Yeah, so basically, like, giving you some of modern Sonic's abilities through the Wisps.
Okay. I can get that.
So we don't know what the other Wisps are yet, but those are the only ones confirmed so far.
I'm sure lasers no doubt going to be a thing.
Well, I don't know, like, because with the Wisp-ons, like, from the way it's been designed, they have to have two uses. So, like, a flamethrower, like, burns enemies, I think, and then also it can be used to do a air jump into the air and get access higher places.
Okay.
So with laser, yeah, obviously the first one you can zip around to certain parts of the stage, but then I'm trying to think what other ability could it be used for, like maybe just a typical laser gun or whatnot. But maybe it turns like into a laser beam gun that can like just like bounce around the walls. That would be cool.
Yeah. I guess we'll see.
Yeah. What I'm wondering now is like when's the release date, and are we getting a collector's edition as well, like Mania? Because that's the only thing I've been buying so many collector's editions throughout the years, but then I've come to a point in my life where I'm like, I have no money anymore, so I've had to sell half of them. But if it's anything that's Sonic and Persona related, I will sell my soul for them.
I can't wait to play Persona 5. Like once my job picks back up in August, and then I start getting paychecks again, I'm buying a PS4. I'm probably the first game, and I guess it depends. Like when I'll be able to afford a PS4, because I initially I wanted to get it so I can play Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. It's like but now it's like now I've been seeing like things for Persona 5, and that really intrigued me. So I'm probably like I guess. Like either or, like I'm probably gonna get Persona 5 at the same time as I get the PS4, but I guess it also just depends on when I get it. If Marvel vs. Capcom's also out, in which case I'll probably just end up getting that at the same time.
Persona 5 is my favorite game of the entire year so far. You're gonna love it. It's absolutely incredible. Okay. So you have a fantastic game to look forward to.
Yeah, I know Danny's been saying the same thing.
Yeah, I adore the Persona franchise. Like I started with 4 Golden Number the played 3, and then I played 5, and they are incredible games, and I really can't wait for more people to get into it because they're so deep and have amazing stories and characters. As a Marvel Infinite, I'm a big fighting game guy. I look forward to anything Marvel vs. Capcom related, but I won't lie, this new one has me a little worried, just because there's so many things about it which are kind of like the character roster. That what hurt was that the leak that came out was true. It's like, Beautiful Joe and Phoenix Wright are gone. They were my mains, so now I'm like, who do I play with now other than Hulk? And then obviously there's the thing of the graphics looking pretty meh. I mean, those story mode cutscenes. Poor
Apparently,
Chun-Li. What did they do to you?
Apparently, from what I've like read up on, apparently those graphics that we've been seeing for the most part were not final. Like the demo, like the demo that was released, like the free demo that was released, as well as what they even showed at E3. Those were all apparently like the beta versions of the games.
Which, yeah, true. The only problem about that is the story mode cutscenes are all probably already finished. They're like probably video files, so I don't see much of those changing. Also, the game's out in like 2 more months, and I really don't think that's enough time to heavily improve them. Maybe the changes will be kind of minor, but I don't expect anything too huge just because of the fact they're releasing it in September, which I think is honestly too early for it. I'd honestly be happy if they delayed it, because I kind of feel like it still needs more time. But if it releases, I just don't want it to be a repeat of Street Fighter V, where the gameplay is awesome, but everything else about it is rushed as hell.
I mean, that's what patches are for, I guess. So regardless,
which is true, but again, going back to the first impression thing, if a lot of people right now are hating on this game and all are pretty much moving over to Dragon Ball FighterZ.
Yeah.
Which I can understand why, because that game looks incredibly hype.
Like, I'm still gonna get the game regardless. I'm still gonna get the game regardless. So.
Oh, yeah, so am I, because I'm a lover of fighting games and I've always loved versus Capcom. But
it's like here's just the sad truth about that. About people, yeah, there are tons of people complaining, and they can complain all they want. Like it's just like Sonic though. They're still gonna buy the fucking game.
Exactly. So am I. Like, I'm not hating on it. I'm still looking forward to it because the gameplay from the time I had with the demo, because of the thing with the demo, because the fights were so short and easy, I couldn't get a true feel for the gameplay. So it wasn't the best way to present the actual gameplay to you. But from what I have played around with, there's so much possibilities for combos and stuff that alone is getting me excited for it. I just wish the character roster were a little better, because it's quite obvious with this one, Marvel have more control over it than they ever have in the past, because all the characters are from the MCU.
Matt, did you see that article that was written by the intern that actually helped work on the game before he
Yes, I believe I did actually.
Yeah, like he was saying how Marvel was strictly going on about how make the characters look ugly so the Marvel cast will look better, except for X and Zeros, since Disney XD is doing that Mega Man show.
Yeah,
there's a reason why the Capcom cast, even though some of the Marvel casts do look a little janky, aka Steve Rogers, but like
and Force Face,
for the most part, yeah. But like yeah, like I said, they said they were gonna fine tune it, but like whether or not they actually stick to that promise, we'll see. It's yet to be seen. I don't care, because Rocket's in the game. That's all I was really looking for.
For me, I'm just glad Mega Man X is back. From what I played of him, he looks like he might be the most enjoyable character to play as. So Beautiful Joe's gone, which I'm very upset about, because that's like my most favorite Capcom series. So I'm probably going to be moving over to X this time around.
Yeah, like I am a little conflicted on who my second main, because obviously Rocket's just going to be one of my mains. Like But like,
he's more fun to play as this time just because he's got Groot.
As for the second character, I have no idea who I'd want to use this. Let me find that leak again. That confirmed leak, I guess I should say. The one, let me see, Marvel versus Capcom Infinite. If I can't find it here, I'll probably go back to Maximilian Dudes, like that old video he made where he talked about.
If not, I can find it. If that might be quicker.
Let me see.
We've got a question here. Worst Mario game except for Hotel Mario and Luigi is missing. I'm going to say New Mario Bros. 2, because it was just so hilariously pointless.
Okay, yeah. Okay, I think I found it. Yeah, so the confirmed characters, on the Capcom side, we have Arthur, Chris Redfield, Chun-Li, Dante, Firebrand, Jeddah.
Why Firebrand?
Hey, I don't know if you ever played that game starring Firebrand, but it was pretty good. It was pretty good actually.
Yeah, I know where you come from. Like,
I'm
technically he's a good character when it comes to fighting game mechanics, but I don't think he was all that popular, which makes me question why he's back. Same with Spencer.
Well, yeah, regardless, like a Jeddah, a Monster Hunter, Morrigan, Nemesis, Ryu, Spencer, Strider Hiryu, and Mega Man X.
Mm-hmm.
Only 13 Capcom characters. And then on the Marvel side, with Ant-Man, Captain America, Captain Marvel, Doctor Strange, Gamora, Hawkeye, Hulk, Iron Man, Nova, Rocket Raccoon, Spider-Man, Thanos, Thor, and Ultron.
Mm.
Now, this list didn't include Zero or Sigma, who we know are both characters that were confirmed as well.
Yeah,
So,
like the only annoying thing is I feel Capcom are pulling another Street Fighter Cross Tekken where they're locking characters out of the game and making them DLC because they're doing it with Black Panther, they're doing it with Sigma, and while Zero wasn't on the leak list but appeared in the trailer, I get a feeling they'll make him DLC.
I guess we'll see on that one. Yeah, you're right. Black Panther 2. I forgot about that. Like they said that there were going to be 6 DLC characters that would be included if you pre-ordered the game. I believe they said, right? Otherwise,
Yeah, you have to pre-order it.
Yeah, which I probably will do at some point. But like, yeah. So more than likely, since Black Panther and Sigma aren't included on this list, more than likely that also means that probably Zero is going to be a DLC, which would mean at the very least, there's still 3 other characters that we're missing here.
The thing that makes no sense to me though, you've got who are the main villains in this game? You've got Sigma, you've got Ultron, and all that. They're going to combine the Ultron Sigma. You've got Ultron on the roster, but for some reason Sigma's DLC. Why aren't both of the villains already in the game?
That also makes me wonder. Like, will Ultron Sigma be a playable character?
I wouldn't be surprised. Unless they just make him exclusive to the story.
Yeah, and then like in terms of other villains, like we have Firebrand, we have Nemesis, which I'm surprised to see Nemesis over Wesker. It's kind of weird. But then,
where's Wesker? Like my biggest annoyance of where's Leon, because he got the Resident Evil 2 remake happening sometime in the future. So why is he not there? Because to me, the ones to put in the game that would make most sense would be to advertise upcoming games.
My whole thing is that if they were to add Leon, there'd be no reason for Chris. So if they were to include something for Leon, he'd have to be like an alternate skin for Chris.
I'd rather just have Leon, honestly, because Leon's never been in the series yet. I think he's the more enjoyable character anyways. And again, Resident Evil 2 remake is happening some point.
You say that, but let's be real though. Chris is the poster boy of Resident Evil. They're gonna
because
they're gonna have the poster boy over the other characters,
which is fine, but like, if you want to make Chris even more memorable in Marvel's Capcom, at least give him a level 3 where he punches the boulder on you.
I don't think so. Because yeah. I'm looking at the villain cast though. Like, Firebrand, Nemesis, and Sigma. Those are 3 villains for Capcom, and then Thanos, Ultron. That's it. That's all they got for. The villain side. Yeah, the villain cast is kind of shallow this time around.
Yeah, and surprisingly, there is a lack of female characters this time around, which is weird. And again, obviously, the elephant in the room: no X-Men.
Captain Marvel, Gamora.
Well, to be fair, the elephant in the room is that Marvel doesn't actually do much with the X-Men anymore.
The annoying thing is, the whole Marvel vs. Capcom series began with X-Men: Children of the Atom. They are the reason this franchise exists, and now they're not in this game, which is really sad.
Well, kind of one of the reasons I think why the list is kind of as shallow as it is, because they wanted to focus on like on
the MCU.
Besides that, the poster boys is what they wanted to do, because it's there are tons of good female or villain candidates from Marvel and Capcom, but let's be real though, the poster boys just happen to be this list here.
Again, which makes no sense to me, because Wolverine was like, back in the old games, the poster boys...
X-Men
Wolverine was Marvel.
Yeah, Matt, the thing is, X-Men is an entirely different beast, because that's Fox's thing.
I know, well, nowadays, it's like as I've noticed, they have seemed to be getting a lot more control over it, because even in that MMORPG, Marvel Heroes, they had recently just removed, I believe it was...
Fantastic Four.
Yeah, that's it, they removed Fantastic Four. If they remove Doom, I'll be very sad.
Well, they will, because
Then again, I've never actually played that game. I heard it was quite good though.
Yeah, unfortunately, we probably won't be seeing Doom this time around.
Again, why not? I want my foot dive spam.
Well, simply
I'm very
because
sad about that.
he's not really a part of the the Marvel main universe anymore. Like, at least the movie Marvel main universe, I should say.
No.
Which is the one that everybody's familiar with, which is the one that makes all the money.
Which sucks because like we just recently because the X-Men movies are still quite popular. I mean, I don't know how many of you Logan, but that was an amazing film.
Yeah, Logan was the exception, not the rule.
Yeah. It just feels like I'm gonna buy it anyway because I love fighting games, but there's a lot of empty feelings with this one in some areas.
Like it's
It's,
not that
it's just
it's not that big a deal for me personally because I didn't really grow up with the series. Like the first game that I really played was Marvel vs. Capcom 3. And even I didn't play much of it because we don't my family doesn't use Xbox Live. I couldn't really play it with anybody outside of like my little sister who obviously sucked at it, and my girlfriend at the time who also sucked at it. And that she played as Virgil, in which case she'd keep kicking my ass because all she would do was just mash the fucking buttons and win. But still.
It's because Virgil's broken. But again, it's Marvel vs. Capcom. Like, there's not a single game in this series that is like completely balanced, but that's really the only exception to the rule where I think that's fine. But I'm all free. I play it a few times on Xbox, then play it mostly on PlayStation. But then nowadays I'm playing it on PC. Well, I say on PC mostly because the audience for this game is pretty much dead. It also doesn't help that the online netcode in Marvel 3 was a train.
Yeah.
But it's a shame because that's like my favorite fighter. Of all the fighting games I've ever played, Marvel 3 is my favorite.
Yeah, but I guess to get back to what I was like, the whole reason why I looked at the list, like if I were to pick like a second fighter to use, I think it'd probably have to be either Arthur, Firebrand, or Gamora. Like I'm sure I'll play all of them to figure out like maybe who I like the most.
What I know about Gamora is that they're saying she's going to have a lot of Phoenix's moveset.
Why would she? Like, they're two completely different. Gamora she's not a telepath. She's a samurai.
I think they're saying they'll have some moves. Maybe the animations are like maybe she'll just have a similar play style, but like have moves that make sense for her.
No, that doesn't make sense at all. They have two. Gamora is an assassin. She's a sword fighter. There's no way she can have any of Phoenix's moves because Phoenix was a telepath with fire
Which also
powers.
confuses me as to why they said that. I mean, from
like,
what I've seen,
like
a lot of Marvel Infinite so far is a lot of recycling from Marvel 3.
For the most part.
Yeah, for the most part, most of the characters that are back in this one, the models look worse, but the animations are pretty much all the same. But which is not new for Marvel series because Marvel vs. Capcom 2, almost all its sprites come from different Capcom fighting games.
Yeah.
So nothing new there. But the whole Gamora thing being like Phoenix thing, I'm like, yeah, I think they might have paraphrased that wrong.
That sounds fake, to be honest.
Yeah.
They are two completely different characters.
The most annoying thing, though, because in a recent interview, when they were asked about why the X-Men characters aren't back, the response that was given, which is annoyed everyone,
I saw that. Like, oh well, if you just want Magneto, like he's just a character that does like 8-directional, whatever the fuck. Really?
And that's like, no, that was like, people didn't play them because of functions. They played them because they were cool.
Well, to be fair, there probably were because considering the tier list of Marvel vs. Capcom 2, there's a good chance that people probably did play Magneto for that reason.
But also, what it's obviously damage control because there obviously is a real reason why they're not there, and they obviously can't give that out. So they pretty much must have just thought of anything that came at the top of their head.
Yeah. Exactly. The real reason is pretty much because of the Fox and Marvel nonsense with the movies. The movies are making bank, so they don't want to be promoting the X-Men because promoting the X-Men promotes the X-Men movies, which means Fox has every reason to keep making money out of them instead of letting their contract slide and allowing Marvel to take them back, like what would happen with Spider-Man.
I think pretty much everyone knows the answer, even if the developers think we don't.
the thing is, the developers probably know you know the answer. They're just not legally able to say it.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Because openly saying, "Oh, we're doing it to get Fox to stop making X-Men movies, so we'll be able to get the X-Men back in Marvel Cinematic Universe," that just means Fox is going to keep making movies that lose the money because it's still less embarrassing than uh, letting Marvel get their stuff back.
Yeah, I think it's something that's probably going to remain for a long time. I mean, getting Sony to budge was just a miracle in itself, so I don't really see that happening with Fox for in many, many years, if not ever.
We'll also keep this in mind. Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite is going to be solely on the PlayStation, as far as I remember.
It is going to be on Xbox and PC as well.
It will. Okay. Well, regardless of such, and Sony, they're the creators of PlayStation, so I think because of that, they'll still be able to get sales from Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite selling on their system. So being able to letting them include Spider-Man, sounds like a deal for them at the very least.
Oh yeah, especially since Street Fighter V, Capcom and Sony have been in good terms recently, so they have their games appearing on Sony's systems first, which to me is pretty much the answer that's obvious because PS4 is the best-selling system at the moment.
But again,
so Capcom want to go where all the money is.
Obviously, again, consoles are still in a way kind of anti-consumer with this exclusivity nonsense. It only still makes sense for Nintendo to do it because Nintendo has always had these properties. They have no reason to let go of them. Sony and Microsoft have no excuse. Their exclusives are shit.
I'd say half and half on that. I think Sony have the upper hand with their exclusives. Microsoft are running out of exclusives because they keep cancelling them. Looking at you, Scalebound.
Well, the thing is, there's no exclusive that you can't find a game similar enough in a non-exclusive form. What does Sony have that you can't find something very similar to on the PC or the Xbox in a non-exclusive form? Or hell, just on the PC in general.
Yeah, I'm kind of half and half of Microsoft's exclusives. Hell, the Xbox One in general is the first console I ever truly got rid of because I actually just thought it was so disappointing. And then as soon as they announced all of the new Xbox games are going to be on PC as well, that I was literally like, there is no reason to own an Xbox anymore. So sold the thing and got a monster of a PC instead.
Yeah, because, that's the only systems I want are a high-tech PC, which I need, and a Switch. Because there's nothing Sony or Microsoft have that I want that's worth the price. The only thing that Sony has is that everyone I know is playing Overwatch on the PS4 and not the PC. But, I'll still get Overwatch at some point, whether it's PC or PS4.
Yeah, I'm similar with Overwatch. I got it on PC just because I'm in the position now where when PC and Nintendo up until next year have their online for free, why should I have to keep paying Microsoft and Sony money just to do the same stuff that I could do on Nintendo and PC? So I'm in a situation where I am never going to pay for an online subscription again and just play all my online games on PC.
Well,
yeah, it doesn't make sense.
The thing about Nintendo is they actually have a really good deal at the very least. It's only $20 a year, and on top of that, you also get to play as many Virtual Console games as you want to for free just for having the subscription.
That is true. Yeah, I think Nintendo got the right idea. I don't like paying for online subscriptions as it is, but with Nintendo's, it's so cheap and the benefits you get are fairly decent to where I'm like, yeah, you know what, I think I could go with it.
Yeah, it's like Pokebang was only $5 a year. I think that's a small price to pay for being able to freely move your Pokemon from game to game.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's only a $5 a year, which is good.
Yeah, and $20 is no worse, honestly.
Yeah, it's with all the benefits, it's freaking ridiculous that I would pay $50 a year for a service like that with Virtual Console because it means I can go back and play all these old games that I never got to try and see if they actually hold up or are all that fun.
Yeah, I mean, the low prices for like if you want to get a month or 3 months, they're like just as cheap, if not cheaper, than like say a subscription to Crunchyroll or Netflix or something like that, which I can stomach.
Yeah, it's like I'm not going to subscribe to Crunchyroll. I can watch it with the ads. I watch all sorts of things with ads already. So, fuck you, Crunchyroll. I'm just going to keep watching with ads and not subscribe for shit.
I only got Crunchyroll purely for JoJo, and then as soon as it's finished, I'm like, okay, I'm done with it for now. I'll come back when JoJo's back.
It's like I can go to Crunchyroll right now and watch. I just have to put up with ads, and I put up with ads on YouTube all the goddamn time.
Yeah, I mean, like I'm kind of used to seeing ads everywhere, but with a Crunchyroll, I went with the mindset of I want to support anime, which is why I paid for it. Because I'm like, you know what, I love anime, I want to support it and keep it going, and that was my reason. But really, it was purely for JoJo.
JoJo, something, something, something.
Something Japanese. That's like one of my favorite animes right now. There's a reason so much. It's just completely wacky and ridiculous.
So I hear.
It's great. Like it's a series that surprising not many people would know this. It's a series that's running on for like 30 years now. It's only since 2012 where they actually turned it into a TV series, and now it's pretty much mainstream.
All right.
Very good stuff. But something like Netflix, though, that's something I'm going to keep because not only is there good stuff on there, but the rest of the family get good use out of it too.
I'm kind of cheating with Netflix. I'm actually like because like when I was living with PKU, she had her own Netflix subscription which we were using. But since I moved out, since I moved out, I've actually been using my sister's Netflix, and she lives all the way in Arkansas. So all of us just use her account.
Yeah, well, that's similar situation to me. Like I pay to Netflix, but everyone else in the family shares my accounts, which I'm fine with. But it's very good for the kids too. That it's used every single day, even if I don't use it for a good 2 to 3 months or whatnot.
Yeah.
I need to turn my fan on. It's so hot. The weather here the past week has been like up to 30 Celsius. Showing no signs of going down.
Yeah, I don't know much about Celsius. It's been like 110 Fahrenheit here.
Nor do I. I just read what I see on the weather app. I'm like, I just look and I'm like, okay, that means it's hot. That's all I need to know.
It's hot.
Exactly. I'm simple-minded like that. But again, I'm simple-minded in general, so that's nothing new.
Ryoku Master asks, worst Mario games? I think Matt answered that briefly earlier. I really don't know. Because there really hasn't been a Mario game that I played that I didn't enjoy. So, I mean...
Hotel Mario?
I think he mentioned earlier, aside from Hotel Mario and Mario's Missing.
The thing is, so you say Hotel Mario, but have you actually played it?
No, that's why I'm saying it's the worst, because I haven't.
Yeah.
See, I really don't... Even if by popular opinion there are games that are just in general, like, really bad, but, like, if I never played them, I won't mention them, because I have no opinion on them.
Which is fair enough. I mean, Mario doesn't really have a lot of bad games, but there are a lot of just samey, boring ones. Case in point, the new Mario Brothers series.
Which
for me,
I never actually touched,
they're so similar.
I never touched those.
Which is why I'm so happy that Mario Odyssey is a thing. Like, we're finally going back to 3D Mario. Oh
boy.
What's new on the interwebs? It's always the slowest at Wink and nothing ever goes on these websites. Stuff about the Zelda DLC. I'm actually picked that up. Yeah, I probably won't for a while. Same with a lot of Switch stuff. Like Arms is already out. Splatoon 2 is on the way. I'm probably not going to pick either up for a while.
No, foolish Tunge, you're right. Stucker Star. That was an awful game. That was, I think.
Oh yeah, there we go. There we go.
I think that's legitimately the only game. See, that's how bad it was. I forgot about it because I don't want to remember it.
Yeah,
that was
I'm the
legitimately
same.
the only Mario game that I played that I actually couldn't finish because I just couldn't enjoy it.
I was the same. It's one of the Mario games I definitely remember getting rid of just because it was so unbelievably dull and it just destroyed what I liked about Paper Mario.
See, I brought up earlier how, I love playing games that give me that RPG high, but they literally took that out. They removed that from the Paper Mario formula. So because there was just no joy in doing anything in the game, doing battles just wasted your time because it wasted your time and wasted your resources because you got nothing out of them except for coins. And what do you use the coins to do?
More resources
to get
waste.
more resources, which you just wasted. There's no point in doing battles. They're literally just there to waste time.
Nah, exactly. It's just terrible. It's like the whole reason that game exists is because Miyamoto intervened. It's like, no, we want to streamline this so it's incredibly simplified. You can thank Miyamoto for the reason Paper Mario is in the state it's in now.
Literally, and they said the reason why they're trying to innovate Paper Mario instead of going back to the $1,000-Year Door and original, frickin' whatever it is. It's because they said, oh, we have the Mario and Luigi series as the default RPG. There's no reason to have 2 Mario RPGs. That's redundant. And I'm sitting
which is dumb because Paper Mario came first.
Their formulas are completely different. And yeah, Paper Mario came first. If you're gonna innovate any of them, innovate Mario and Luigi.
Yeah, that would have been something that would have still annoyed me because I like the Mario and Luigi series, but I wouldn't. But Paper Mario, I just love more. Mainly the first one. I actually am one of a very rare breed that thinks the first game's the best one.
The first one is very good. No, $1,000-Year Door being literally my favorite game of all time. It's like
it is very good. I just wish what sucked is where there's that rumor going around about a HD re-release. It's like you know that if it isn't real, a lot of people will be upset, and that was exactly the case. It's like, with all the things you tease people, why this?
Why would you do this? Why would you do this to our feelings?
That's like saying if Sonic 3 and Knuckles actually got a HD release on mobile phones and it was fake, that would make me sad. Because I know that game's never going to happen. Purely 3 has a really annoying legal issue with its soundtrack because they can't do anything about it because Michael Jackson worked on that game's soundtrack for a point. So half of the game's soundtrack is copyrighted and they can't do nothing about it. Which is why, like in Sonic Generations, we only got 11 calls because they literally couldn't have done Sonic 3 purely because of the music.
What's our favorite dinosaur? My favorite dinosaur is the what was it called? The Pachyosaur.
My favorite dinosaur is Mario.
True. Then what also makes it dumb is Pokemon and Fire Emblem are both RPGs, yet they are still the same? Not really.
No, Fire Emblem's a strategic RPG, where Pokemon is more of a collectathon kind of RPG.
It's a more lax
I would say that Fire Emblem is more an RTS with RPG elements.
That is basically what it is, yeah.
No, not RTS, TBS. RTS is real time, and Fire Emblem is anything but.
Every day I keep looking at that Sonic Mania vinyl CD they're going to release, just wondering when the hell they're going to pre-orders up, because there's no doubt in my mind, once it starts, the orders will be gone in seconds. Which I would never do this for a vinyl, just because that's the weird thing. I don't understand how vinyls are a big thing again. I really don't get it, but they're doing this for Mania, and they've sucked me right in just because I'm a shameless sheep. But now I've never understood that. How are vinyls suddenly big again? I'm also kind of the same way with why are fidget spinners popular. I don't understand
That
these
yeah,
trends
I
at
don't get
all.
that one either. Honestly, I think
It's like, what are these kids into these days? I don't understand it. I'm old.
I don't know how you get tricks out of things called fidget spinners. They're
Yeah.
literally just fidget. They're literally called fidget spinners. They're things you spin when you fidget. You don't do that for tricks. That's what the finger-sized skateboarding is for.
You know what those things are actually meant for, right? Fidget spinners were actually meant for autistic kids, but instead it's become mainstream with everyone else, and for most people that are on the autistic spectrum, but I don't think a lot of them really care about them.
No.
Which is weird. Is like it had the intention to go to a certain crowd, but instead, every crowd imaginable are crazy about them now. It's weird. Back in my day, they were called Beyblades. That was a thing once upon a time. I still don't understand how it was a thing either.
you know what else was the thing. Do you guys remember? For the life of me, don't remember what they're called. But they were like these little. They were these they were tops. They were a type of top, but they were also like these weird little robot figurines where. Well, like they have removable arms and legs, but you remove the arms and legs, and then you put the little thing through them and pull it out to make it spin. Like, what were those called? I used to
I
love.
don't think I've ever heard of those.
I don't remember what they were called. Damn it! But they were.
I can't think of nothing, unless it might be an American thing.
Like they were Beyblades before Beyblades.
I can't say I remember these things at all. All I remember is Beyblades.
Yeah, I don't remember what they're called. I just remember that I used to love fucking playing with them.
Well, that reminds me. I actually want to check my local cinema because I'm wondering War of the Planet of the Apes comes out. I think it's supposed to be quite soon. Where is it? Oh, there we are. It's actually next Friday. That's cool.
Okay.
I shall have to plan booking it. So I recently saw Spider-Man on Wednesday.
I know,
It's the best Marvel movie.
I know that's where Realm Wars is currently. He's watching it right now.
It's so good.
Is it?
It's my favorite Marvel film.
Oh, good for Spider-Man.
They did a bang-up job with this one. It's the most low-key of the MCU films, and that's just why it works so much. Also, they don't forget that Peter is supposed to be a kid, and it really shows. Like they did such a grand job with it. It's so good. There's actually been a lot of movies this year I've gone to see, more than most years. I think what I see before Spider-Man, I think it was Wonder Woman. That was good.
I've heard that one was pretty good from what I hear. Though apparently for some reason they said it in World War One, even though Wonder Woman was invented to be a World War II icon.
The thing is with these comic book movies, like especially Marvel, they make so many changes to the existing lore that I'm just kind of used to it now. Honestly, it's like okay, if it's an adaptation, I expect things to be different.
Fair enough, but it's still a little weird. It's one of those It's one of those changes that just feels a little off.
Hmm. What's this?
Characters
Rick and
we
Master 2.
Characters we despise. Shadow the Hedgehog, Post Sonic Adventure 2, and outside the Archie comics.
Anything from My Little Pony. I despise that franchise. Sorry.
Kenshi grasping his chest.
Yellow Diamond.
Well, you hate her. You hate her because she's such a well-written character. So.
No, I'm pretty sure she destroyed Pink Diamond.
I guess we'll see how that goes.
Whoever that fuck that was Ash's rival during Sinnoh, that fucker can go fuck himself.
Was it his name Paul?
I think so.
Yeah.
Fuck that guy.
I wouldn't know. Back then I stopped I stopped the show like halfway through Johto because the filler killed me, and then didn't come back till XY. So I don't know anything else beyond that.
I watched the Hoenn series and then partially into Sinnoh before I quit. But at that point, I was also just pissed off at Sinnoh as a region. 32 Dex entries dedicated to evolving Gen 1 and Gen 2 Pokemon. That is ridiculous.
Sinnoh's the region I recall where I lost my copy of Platinum, which had all the Pokemon I collected since Red, including all the special event ones that I went to. All those were gone, and that's when I actually quit the games for a few years until XY won me over.
You mean Fire Red?
I played Fire Red, yeah, but
there's no way you could have run Pokemon from Red version to Platinum.
True, yeah.
Actually, there is a way, BJ. It just takes like 13 different devices. Somebody has actually figured out.
Rika Master 2 asks, why do you hate Shadow, BJ?
Because, like, how do I properly explain this? I just feel like he's just a way too overrated character. Why does my iTunes keep doing this? Just randomly just turns the fuck on its own. Why?
But BJ, Shadow, he's so cool and edgy.
He's really not.
No, he's not.
He's a fucking brooder. Like he's a cardboard cutout of a character. There's nothing.
I wouldn't say that. He's got at least some interest to him, but yeah, the fandom does kind of inflate the cool, edgy aspects of Shadow
That's why I say Shadow post Adventure 2.
Yeah, he still had some interest in heroes since he was dealing with, not understanding what he even was at that point because he hit the ground so damn hard he lost all his memories. And here's something that always annoyed me about Sonic Heroes: they show this like fake Shadow in this Dark Side story, but at no point during that entire fight, no matter how long you wait, will one actually appear.
I still like Shadow quite a bit, but I can understand why people would not like him post SA2 simply because after his own game, he really hasn't anything to do.
I liked his fight with Mephiles, that he was dealing with the fact that he was this super powerful being that may not be trusted by the others.
Yeah, that's all. As much as I hate 06's story, Shadow had probably the best moments in it.
It was
even if none of it amounts to anything because it didn't happen.
Yeah, it's like that's one thing I've always found funny. Sonic 06, the game's so bad it deleted itself.
Yep. It's the best thing it ever could have done. In fact, that is the best point. That's the best moment in the entire story.
Honestly, I think my favorite moment was when Shadow just basically told Mephiles to fuck right off and took off his rings.
And
when Mephiles is like playing this game, the humans will never trust you. You are too powerful. They will always find an excuse to eventually lock you away because you're too dangerous to them. And Shadow's just like, shut the fuck up. I will do whatever the fuck I want, and if people have a problem with that, then they can come tell me about it.
Which one I'm looking forward to Enforcers because he actually will finally have something to do again.
Will he? Though?
I'm curious as to what the fuck he's doing on Eggman's side.
Yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Will he though?
I think he's probably gonna. I think he's acting as a double agent. Honestly,
it would make sense. I mean, during the time of 06, he is actually a gun agent. One of the few things they don't bring up a lot is the fact that apparently he's working for Gun.
The thing is, I think we're at a point where I always consider Colors to be a soft reboot of the series, and I think Gun don't exist in the franchise anymore, so I don't think Gun's involved. I think either Shadow's a double agent for what's going on, or I think that the whole thing of Infinity is that he is bringing in these characters from other various dimensions, maybe. Because dimension seems to be a thing, because one thing they have revealed is that they've kind of retconned classic Sonic, because instead of him being a younger version of Sonic, he's now been clarified as a Sonic from another dimension.
What?
Yeah, if you watch the boss fight in Forces where classic Sonic fights the Egg Dragoon, Eggman does mention you've got a lot of nerve for a pint-sized Sonic from another dimension.
They just straight up Sonic 06 that, didn't they? It's the same fucking shit they did to Blaze, except they reversed it. Because originally Blaze was from a different dimension, and then suddenly was from the future.
Yeah, but she was from a different dimension.
Yeah, and then we have, and suddenly we have classic Sonic who was from the past, and now suddenly from a different dimension. What? I'm sorry?
I'm hoping there's at least an explanation for it, because I'm legitimately curious as to why they have changed that.
That is really weird.
It is. Although most people actually are alright with this change, because I think a lot of people would prefer Classic Sonic to be in a separate canon. Because here's the thing, Sega did recently say that whatever happens with Mania when it comes out will determine the fate of the franchise, and to me, it's very obvious Mania is going to do very well, and I think that will mean they're going to try and make Classic Sonic games more of a general thing. So maybe making him into a separate universe might be a decent thing to do for the sake of the fact that we'll probably see a lot more classic Sonic games after Mania, because it's so obvious to me it's going to be the better game than Forces. Pretty much everyone looking at both games is pretty much more hype for Forces. I mean Mania. Sorry.
Man, I get this call. I just want to play good games again.
I'm in a mood. I don't know what I want to play, because I recently brought Shadow Complex on Steam and playing that for a bit, but at the moment I'm just jumping from game to game. I hate you, Steam sales. Why'd you do this to me? I end up buying a decent amount of stuff and then never get around to it.
Hey, Amanda.
Oh.
Amanda.
Hello.
Now what?
I don't know. You wanted me in the damn call, and I'm here.
He wants you to talk.
Rada. Yeah.
How dare you?
Rada.
Leave now. How dare you bring chatter? How dare you bring chatter into my series? Or streams, whatever the hell I'm doing right now.
What?
All the sprite work he's doing is making him forget everything. What is life, BJ? Can you answer me this? In your current state of mind.
Life is 42.
4K.
I'm thinking of actually what I'm probably going to do here pretty soon. Like, I think once I finish this commission, I'm actually going to go ahead and stop the stream. And then probably pick up with a second stream later today.
Okay.
All right.
It's like once I finish up this sprite, this last little row of sprites, and then Cloudy's commission will be done.
Fair enough.
I'll finish Crosby's commission later today. In this different stream.
I want Taco Bell and Wendy's.
Okay.
Taco Bell for breakfast. Wendy's for dinner.
Yeah, I got that Wendy's yesterday.
Oh, did they have the 50 cents shakes or whatever?
Yes, they did, and I got
Aha.
5 of them.
That's a lot.
How many do you have left?
None.
You actually ate them all
Yeah.
in one go?
They're all small.
Oh well.
Because that was the only size that they would give you that give you for 50 cents, the small size.
Well, probably cheaper.
I mean, 5 it's for 50 cents. That's what, $2.50.
Yep.
For effectively what is, what equivalents to a whole ice cream from Baskin Robbins or something.
I'm just looking on Taco Bell's site right now because I just want to go fucking get a bunch of burritos right now.
Amanda, how dare you mention that name? Now I'm gonna want to go get Taco Bell after this.
Well, there is a dollar menu, so
I know. I hate you, Amanda.
No, you don't.
Why did you come in the stream?
because
You asked her to. You dick.
Yes, males have that. I get you. Also, that's what most of us British are. We're just dicks.
Amanda comes in and knocks
Well,
you
you
out
eat
hungry.
spotted dick.
Not that kind, thankfully.
You know what I miss? What were those things called from Taco Bell that they sold like a while back. Like, they sold these back when I was still in college, like my last semester at college. They were like these wraps that had like I forget what they fucking were, but they were delicious and they were only $1 a piece. And it's like, oh, I loved them.
I cannot answer this question. I do not know what a Taco Bell is.
Okay, I'm gonna have to ask. Can you describe what was in the wrap?
Yeah, it was like I don't remember.
Well, I can't answer that for you.
I know that's the worst part because they haven't sold it in so long.
I do remember that way back when they do sell grillers still.
That's what it was. It was a griller.
But the only thing that's really changed was they changed from a buffalo chicken to a chipotle chicken griller, and I hate that. The buffalo chicken grillers were so fucking delicious, especially with just a little extra sauce on the side. Just fucking hell, they would just The chipotle chicken grillers aren't bad, but they're just not as crack. The buffalo chicken griller was fucking.
Always talk about food, and it's like 10 on my end. You're making me hungry. I hate you all.
I know, man. Why would you do this to us?
You're the one who asked her to be in here. You're the one at fault for this shit. There's a reason why I've stuck to my quesadillas.
Yeah, they were a type of griller. I remember that much. And they were only $1 a piece.
Well, they used to be $1 a piece for the longest time. They've slowly gone up in price because dollar menus just aren't quite as tenable as they used to be. Though they do go back to being $1 a piece during their happy hour, which I think is like 3 hours long.
Wait, what are we talking about now?
We're talking about grillers. We're talking about the grillers at Taco Bell.
We're talking about Harambe's.
No,
We do not talk about that.
Yeah, Amanda, since you're looking at the menu right now, what kind of grillers do they have at Taco Bell?
I know
grillers.
Still got the loaded potato and the beef grillers, but they went from buffalo chicken to chipotle chicken.
What?
Mine might be different because I'm over here. Hold on. Griller, yeah, loaded potato griller, chipotle chicken, and beefy nacho.
I'm gonna try the chipotle chicken. And I know you're hating on it, Kenshi, but I may just have to try it.
It's just not as good as the buffalo griller was.
I really want to get the fucking chalupa, what is it? The double chalupa box. I want to see if they have steak because I love chalupa with steak in it. It is my absolute shit.
Oh my god! How many strikes do I have left?
And Alex just got birthday money, so we might be going to the mall.
I have 5 sprites left. I gotta finish these 5 sprites so I can go get Taco Bell.
Taco Bell. Everyone go get Taco Bell. BJ, drive us to Taco Bell. We don't got a car. Please help us.
Go now.
Gods, I wish that we all live close to each other. Are you kidding me?
If the apocalypse comes, we need to figure out whose state we're all moving to.
Not Texas. Moving the fuck.
Come to Arizona. We have a whole lot of solar energy.
The person I'm closest to is actually Kenshi, so.
Don't come to UK, whatever you do, because it's pretty much a terror zone.
Oh yeah,
I was more assuming it would be.
But I want to go there because Slap Happy Gamer's over there.
Like, Matt,
I want to meet her.
How are you doing with all that shit going on right now?
I just have to bear with it. Watch the news and hope that nothing happens. You know, like luckily we're in a pretty good area that's very quiet, so I've got that going for me. But it's like not long after the bombs went off in Birmingham, I actually went up to London like the following week to Comic-Con. The whole time I was like, I'm having fun, but as long as we don't get blown up, that'd be great. But I tackled the fear. I went anyway. But the fact that it's been happening so much recently is a scary time.
I'm sure. Yeah. This is why I'm glad I live in the middle of fuck-off desert. No one fucking bombs this place. It's already too
live
hot.
Next to to fucking what was the college that was doing all those protests? Shit, hold on. Washington.
But no matter what goes on here, I always feel sorry for America just because you're president, obviously.
Yeah, it really doesn't help that, you know.
It doesn't help that our president is a living Cheeto.
Well, not just that. Like, I'm talking about like how There's all this tragedy and shit going on in Britain, and what is Trump doing? He's trying to use it to spread fear here.
Yeah, and the problem is, it doesn't. It's exactly what the enemy wants. That's literally what ISIS wants. They want you to fear the Muslim communities, so the Muslim communities join them. And people don't get that. They don't realize they're playing right into the enemy's hands.
No, I just wish people would, actually show that we ain't scared when they're gonna live our lives anyway. It's like we're not gonna bow down to you. I just wish more people would be like that. I mean, yeah, people are scared. I understand that, but at the same time, you're letting them win.
It's like they don't want us to bow down to them. They just want you to make them more recruits by hating. They want you to hate them and anybody who's like them so that you become racist, so that the people that are affected by your racism join them so they get more recruits, so they can take over the entire Islamic area. That's literally what they want.
Exactly.
They don't want England. They don't want America. They don't want Canada. They just want all of the people to hate you so they'll come join them so they can seem like the good guys.
Yeah. And then, you got that all going on, and then you did no favors in North Korea either. You keep wanting to bomb everyone.
I'm surprised North Korea still manages to function at all. I'm honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if there's a betting pool among other national leaders about when North Korea will finally collapse, because there's just no future for it. It literally just won't exist whenever the regime finally fucking breaks.
Or unless they're morons and fire the missiles anyway. No,
which will mean
if they strike, they are gone because they are powerless against every other nation.
China would be on their ass, South Korea would be on their ass, Japan would be on their ass, America would be on their ass, and about 40 other members of the UN would be on their ass. There would be no North Korea at that point. Even China has told them that if you fire a missile, we will shoot you.
Exactly, which is why I don't understand why they're acting so high and mighty. It's like, surely the obvious outcome.
No, they don't, Matt, because they have this belief that they are literally blessed by a godly deity of a man as their leader. They literally believe themselves to be the best nation in the goddamn universe, even though they're pretty much one of the worsts.
Have you guys seen the game Stay?
Don't think I have.
Never even heard of it.
So, Kitty Cat Gaming, Mortimer, Eagle Raptor's wife, she and Eagle Raptor actually are currently doing a Let's Play on a game called Stay. It's a dating simulator, but the dates are these two North Korean military women, and the plot is like you're an American military troop who made pen pals with these two North Korean women. But you thought they were both men at first, so you went to go visit them as a tourist for North Korea, and the whole game is literally just bashing like the entirety of North Korea. It's fucking hilarious.
Oh dear.
Oh Jesus. It's like I know every nation has its issues. America did some shit. Did you realize there's a nation inside America that is supposed to exist but doesn't? Because the founding fathers promised a large tribe this nation of land that we then took away anyway and made it the States. Then you have Japan in the fucking shit with Nanking, China being communist, North Korea being shit. Germany has actually been one of the best nations when it comes to trying to say, hey, this part of our history was wrong, even if they're a little
Pikio. She would all the time. She'd be literally like, I wish I knew German so I can move to Germany. They are the only atheist state, like country in the world, and they are literally the most least tolerant people for that kind of bullshit.
See, this is why I wish fictional characters were real, because we could hey, Japan, can you get Goku to help us? He's literally the most powerful character in fiction.
If there was any at all fictional world that actually existed, we would all just be fucking dead.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what kind of world it is. It can be fucking, I don't know, like fucking Peppa Pig, and we all still be dead.
Oh, please, no.
No, Peppa Pig.
No, I despise that show with a passion because it's loved by all the little ones in my family. I've seen it. It also hurt recently. They had the nerve to have a cameo of Haruhi and Mia as a background image. I'm like, Why must you remind me that season 3 still isn't real? I hate you, Peppa Pig. Die.
If I were to live in any,
I hate you, Peppa Pig. Die.
if I could live in a fictional universe, I'd fucking live in Equestria because Equestria is just peaceful. I'd just be able to hang out and eat grass because I'd be a horse.
I'd live in the Persona universe because it's very much like regular Earth, just with like mystical god being powers.
Oh god, if I were to, I don't know what world I would really want to live in, if it like video game wise or anything.
You see you say that, Matt, but like a common misconception for a lot of people.
I know.
Yeah, you can live in that world. That doesn't mean you'll be anything special. More than likely, you'll be a goddamn NPC.
I'd be completely fine with being a background pony because at least then I know I wouldn't be getting into shenanigans.
Being a background character is probably safer than like living in a fictional universe where you could literally die at any point.
I think if I had to choose Pokemon World, because in that at least you have a chance of being like a main character, like a main person.
In the Pokemon world, it's all fair. It's all fair game.
And I guess for those who would be unfortunately be happy with animal abuse, they could get away with it because it's Pokemon.
I mean, is it animal abuse? Are Pokemon's animals?
Technically, yeah, aren't they?
Are they?
Well, they're creatures, aren't they?
Well,
yeah,
we're creatures.
We
are a creature.
That was PETA's whole thing with fucking Pokemon. It was like it's fucking animal fighting. I was just like, they kind of consent to it. They're fine with it.
It's been established that Pokemon generally like to fight because Pokemon generally recognize that they have these powers and they want to be able to utilize them properly.
Yeah, it's like
it's one thing if you catch a Pokemon that obviously doesn't like to fight and you force it to fight. It's another thing when you have Pokemon that actually do like to fight, which generally is most
like say Charizard.
Yeah.
At the same time, though, it's quite a dangerous world to live in because literally you could be like in a world where you'd be living in the same world as like a I think what's the platinum? I think what's the Pokemon that is literally basically Satan?
Giratina.
Yeah, I love Giratina so goddamn much.
Yeah, he's basically Satan, and then you've got Pokemon that literally kidnap children. You've got
Drifloon.
Hypno.
It's like that's kind of a scary world to live in.
Yeah, but you wouldn't really think about that once you're part of that world because
you wouldn't until it's too late.
Yeah, you wouldn't until you get your fucking head chopped off.
Well, I'd be fine because Drifloon only goes for small children that aren't fat, so I'd be fine.
You know what I don't get? Like people are going about Drifloon fat shaming because of that. They're starting to hate him for it. Keep in mind, Drifloon is a balloon. I'm pretty sure the only reason Drifloon doesn't like heavy set weight children is because he just can't pick them up. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's actually logical, but of course, in this day and age, anything logical is fat shaming, and
then you got chances of getting seizures with Porygon.
Well, here's the thing: Porygon would not give you a seizure in that world, only in our world.
Pikachu's full, not Porygon's.
Oh my god! I can get the double chalupa with steak. Ah.
What?
The double chalupa. It's the chalupa, but double the amount of everything into tacos and a free drink for $5. I'm like, damn it! I'm just gonna write down everything I want
and buy it all.
Yes.
Yeah, probably. Just get one of those, and then get one of the packs of 12 tacos.
If it weren't so late, I'd probably run up to my local supermarket, like just for 3 minutes down my house, and probably get a pot of Pringles. But it's like nearing 11, so no.
Damn it!
Really no fucking Taco Bell now. God damn it!
Well, Taco Bell is like the cheapest fast food restaurant near us, to be real, compared to everything else.
McDonald's is for me, but I really see the only time. See, and this is really sad. The only time that I ever actually want to eat McDonald's is when I feel like hating myself.
Hey, that might explain why I have it like every other week. I hate myself a lot, so that is the reason why I have it.
I'm being legit though, like straight up.
That must explain why I stopped hating myself after I gave up McNuggets.
That's
Literally, I
the,
used to eat
that's the annoying
McNuggets.
thing though. Is like I hate myself legit most of the time. Which is what probably why I have McDonald's. But the problem is, it just tastes so good and it's cheap.
Here's the thing, it doesn't. And it's like the only things I've ever liked from McDonald's have been the McNuggets when I was little, which I pretty much gave up on when I taste anything better chicken. McFlurries and shakes.
I do not like McFlurries. I just think the puddings in McDonald's in general just taste like plastic.
Puddings.
Puddings, yeah.
McFlurry's not a pudding; it's an ice cream.
Yeah, that is like a dessert.
Cultural difference.
They use different terms. They use so many different terms. Like
you guys call cookies biscuits for some reason.
Yeah.
Actually,
with
cookies are actually called cookies here.
With Q-tips, they call them earbuds.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's weird.
Yeah,
Also,
Shelly was just,
you forget,
just like...
Also,
You're
Kenshi,
weird.
you forget, the English were first. It was the Americans that butchered all the words.
So screw you.
My friend, my friend Shelly is just
out.
like, you damn Americans and your fucking words.
Here's the funny thing.
Get out of my street.
Here's the funny thing, BJ. The accent he has was invented after we left Britain. So the whole British accent is actually invented after America left. So Americans actually speak the original British accent.
Okay,
You created me?
I'm sure the terms are so. I'm sure the terms didn't change though, until
created me.
Americans changed them.
Like fucking.
Well,
what is it?
some of these terms only got invented after we left too, because like we call them cookies for some reason. And
I'll never understand trainers. Just trainers.
I'll
so
never
weird.
I'll never
what's a
understand
trainer?
sneakers.
Shoes.
What?
I'll never understand sneakers.
Yeah.
I don't get either of those terms firstly, because you're not sneaking and you're not training.
The one
And
thing I'll
then-
never understand though, the one that I'll never get, is that over here trousers and where you live, that's called pants.
That one.
But for us, pants are underwear.
Yeah,
And
I
for
remember
us,
that.
some people call their underwear trousers.
Yeah, you see, now that one I don't get, because logically, the underwear, what we call underwear, it's under our pants.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So it's like, okay.
Or how about the people who call flip-flops thongs?
Oh yeah, I hate that shit.
That's
I don't get that either.
That reminds me of a story that my old high school English teacher told us, where he said that that there was a transfer student from the UK, and she she was actually born and raised in the UK and was only going to be in America for a short while. So like she went up to him and was like, "Do you have a rubber?" And he just looked at her like, "I'm sorry." Because I don't know if you know this or not, Matt. But like obviously, rubbers to you are what we call erasers, whereas rubbers to us are condoms.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you actually serious?
Yeah, in America,
Yes.
the term a common term for condoms are rubbers.
Always remember, when you have sex, always wear a rubber.
Exactly.
Erase any mistakes.
Erase your penis. No more sex for
I'm
you.
trying to think of some other weird ones.
Erase it. You are now a woman.
That's not how that works at all.
No. If you erase what's down there, a vagina does not grow.
Exactly.
I don't know half the stuff that comes out my mouth.
It's okay, neither do we.
Yeah, we just say words and hope they make sentences and hope those sentences make sense.
Which is how
That's
my life
most
works.
of my life.
Hey, did you ask them if they wanted to drive us out, or do you just want to go walk? It feels too hot.
I would do my 5-mile walk, but it's just too hot.
Pussies.
I walked forever for 4 years straight. I am just getting tired of it.
I would walk to Taco Bell. But it's usually a 20-minute drive for me.
For fun.
Yeah.
I've recently started doing 5-mile long walks. It just makes you feel so good after.
While not eating for 3 days.
Mm.
What's the temperature tomorrow? It's still too hot.
What's the weather right now?
That's sad.
Let me see what the weather is right now. Oh yeah, 78, about 380.
It's not that bad. I was just
70? You're complaining it being too hot at 70?
Dude, I went from Pennsylvania to over here. The weather is kind of different.
much nicer.
I live in
like
one.
when it is like, well, Pennsylvania is like that perfect like neutral of like cold and hot. It never gets really hot and never gets really cold. Whereas like over here, sometimes it can get really hot, but then sometimes it can get really cold.
I think it's pretty balanced here, but then again, I lived in North Carolina and it was like 80 on Christmas and over 100 nearly every day.
Yeah, North Carolina's fucked.
And that doesn't sound that bad, but the humidity there is like.
Oh my god! Don't
it's
even.
Like you walk out and it's like.
Dude.
Oh yeah, he can't hear you. Hold on. I get it.
I used to live in North Carolina too. I lived on the ocean coast.
Hold on, let me switch my sound so he can hear you too. You're talking to yourself. You're crazy.
That's what I do.
Okay.
Man, I used to live in North Carolina's ocean coast. I know all about humidity. I know all about how hot it is back there. I love the fact that 9 out of 12 months of the year in Arizona are dry.
How do people survive?
Adaptation.
Actually, speaking of which, now that you bring that up,
Shocking.
I guess Amanda,
Ah.
like, feel free to not answer this if it makes you uncomfortable. But like, have you heard from your mother at all since you left?
Oh, have I heard from my mother? Have I heard from my mother?
That's fun.
Yeah, like nearly every fucking day.
Like, in
My other email that I don't really use has been spammed nearly every fucking single day. And she tried to do a lot of bullshit to his family when I got here first time, so yeah.
She writes like full books to her like constantly that make no sense.
I still need to get my birth certificate from her, but she won't hand it over.
So she's literally just being super spiteful right now?
Yeah, kind of.
Or in denial.
Yeah, it's like a mixture of like spiteful and in denial, kind of.
Just crazy.
Just her normal self, you know.
I'm just super glad that you were able to get out of that situation.
Yeah.
Same.
Oh god, for a while we didn't think I was gonna be able to be real.
We thought we were both gonna die somehow.
Yeah, because like what happened was I had to go down to my college and everything because obviously she had me signed up for college and everything. And the day we were supposed to pick all our classes and submit all that shit, I had a mental breakdown and kind of was like, yeah, no, I'm not going here. And then she got pissy all about that. And like what happened was we went back home, and then my grandma was like, she can come here for the 4th of July and everything. And I was like, yeah. And I stayed there for like a month. Yeah, 30 days, like straightforward 30 days. And my mom got what are they called?
Social services?
Yeah, social services called on her and everything. And social services did not believe I was in a shitty situation, so I was forced to go back home. And then my aunt was like, why doesn't she come to Idaho for her birthday and everything? And I can help her out with a job or something. And my mom was like, yeah, and she had no idea that my aunt was sneaking me over to Washington to live with Alec and everything.
Jeez.
I guess, like,
Yeah,
I remember you brought up a while back that, like, didn't Alex's mother, like, go off on your mother?
Oh, yeah.
What was that conversation like?
That was because my mom insulted her husband and thought her husband wasn't in the army and everything.
Oh, dude, you didn't even tell them, like, when she finally got here, first of all, her mom doesn't believe that her own family helped her get here. We somehow kidnapped and manipulated her to get here, which makes no sense. But, like, she started this shit where she called my dad's unit because he's in the army, and she made, like, these false, like, pedo allegations and shit, and was trying to say that we were pushing out child porn and everything. Like, we like worked for a sex trade and all this crazy shit, and he just like broke on her. it was a rough time for everybody. Just because he could have lost his job, like of like 20-something years.
I gotta say, I gotta say that like your parents must be really cool to take in Amanda like that.
Yeah, for the most part, it's been very up and down.
How so?
But it's good now.
Yeah, it's a lot better now. There's just a little bit of drama. It's fine though. It's a lot better.
But holy shit, the weather thing. It is so weird to have real weather, like actual seasons. Like,
well, I'm used to it because Pennsylvania, we have seasons and everything.
North Carolina has one season, summer.
I would disagree. I lived on the coast. There was snow.
There was snow like a few times. It was like very rare because like North Carolina had a few really cold winters out of nowhere, but it was like it felt really rare where I lived because like we got snow once and I fucking loved it. Though it turned into ice like the same day, but like it was pretty cool. But it was like when North Carolina was actually cold, it was like scary. But for the most part, it was just melting and suffering. But
even when I was in North Carolina for that little bit, like it wasn't even as hot as it typically got. When I left North Carolina, it instantly went to 100 degrees.
I think when North Carolina got cold though, it did feel worse than other states because you were so used to being so goddamn hot all the time.
Oh my god, it's ridiculous how cold it got sometimes.
I got sick every time. Every time it actually got cold, I got sick for like months.
Oh my god, I have asthma and allergies, and I lived in a place where there was a lot of pollen. Like we rarely ever had snow, but we had yellow snow all the time during the summer when your car literally turns freaking green.
Yeah, because our car is black, and it would look so awful as soon as like that season hit. But God, I don't know. I hated North Carolina so much. I mean, we lived most of our life there, which was awful. But I like it here a lot more. The only problem is like it rained. It
rains a lot.
It hasn't been raining a lot now, but like it rained. It's like cold and rainy most of the time, but it's been pretty nice lately. It's not gotten too hot. And fuck, we were cold on 4th of July. That was weird. But
yeah.
Because
4th of July was hectic.
In
North
Carolina, and I mean 4th of July in North Carolina, we'd go out to like the field, on like the army base and stuff, and sit out there all day until the fireworks started.
This time we got to go on a beach, and everyone there was like 2,000 people, all with their own fireworks, shooting them straight up into the fucking sky.
It was so different.
A lot of people got hurt. A lot of people got hit.
Jeez.
It was amazing.
It was
but
amazing,
it was
though.
very scary.
Like, cause like I didn't think they'd be able to top the Army's 4th of July because there are cannons and shit, and like bands and shitty bands, but bands and like a bunch of like food and everything, and you know being over 100 and dying all day. But like here's was so much cooler because like the beach was freezing for some reason, which kind of sucked and was very strange because we weren't prepared for it. But oh my god, it was like a bullet hell of fireworks everywhere. It was weird.
Literally, you look down like the beach, and it was like it did look like a bullet hell fucking Toho game.
It was weird.
It was amazing because everyone, like these are like rich ass motherfuckers, so they got like white privilege, like fucking allowed to buy as many fireworks as they want, so they can set every fucking thing off.
The people next to us had like a row, and like every time they put like lead off, and it was just like a giant cloud of smoke. We're like hiding behind the car to not like get it all in our eyes.
Jeez.
It was weird. It was like a battlefield, but it was really neat.
This year we found this little firework that I don't remember what it's called, but we dubbed them the angry fireflies because what they would do is they would trigger and then they would spin and change from red to green to yellow, but when they spin they created this little buzzing sound that made it look like a really angry firefly was spinning in place.
I know what you're talking about.
they were fucking hilarious. I once got 3 of them to go off at once, and it was like the most hilarious sound hearing 3 of these things go.
There was one time when a firecracker went off in my hand.
Ow.
We were doing that dumb, like, how old was I? I think I had to have been like maybe 14, 15 at the time. Like, we were doing that dumbass shit where, you know, we would light the firecrackers in our hands and then throw them. Mine for whatever reason had a shorter fuse, so I couldn't get it out of my hand in time, and it went off in my hand. Like, I'm laughing at it now because like I was like jumping in pain. Like nothing fell off. Obviously, I wouldn't be an animator if something did, but like it did leave a little blood. It did leave a blood blister for like a week, and that's about it.
Oh yeah, that sounds fun, and by fun I mean not.
We had a 4th of July where we had a barbecue. And my fucking dad caught his whole entire leg on fire.
How?
It was hilarious.
How do you catch your whole entire leg on fire?
Don't know. He was really dumb.
I'm gonna guess. Was he by a grill?
He said what?
Was he by a grill?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think we have a picture of it too. And this was before like.
Then you know what may have happened? He may have like spilled some gasoline or something on his leg.
Yeah, I mean, this was before the whole smartphone age of taking pictures of everything, and we still somehow got a picture of it with like our shitty ass like. I don't even know what those cameras were called. The ones you had to take in and get developed and shit.
Oh, like the little disposable cameras.
Yeah, it was a disposable camera. We still have like a picture from that. Isn't it weird how long ago, like old those feel now?
Yeah.
Everything has a good camera now. Like everything. Weird.
Yeah, we live in a day and age where like where everything's being documented, which makes me wonder, like, because like, you know, obviously, you know, our day and age, you know, we don't. It's very hard to know what happened like way back when because there was very little good documentation of it. You know, in the future, it doesn't. You know, it could be many millennia from now. You know, this day and age is still going to be very well documented, and they're all going to know exactly what's going on in this day and age.
Yeah,
and I just find that fascinating.
The only thing that we don't have well documented is motives. Why do people do the stupid things that they do?
You know, people in the future are just going to be like, "Oh, that was a more primitive time," which it is.
You know what? People. You know, there was something that was brought up on a Rooster Teeth video about. Do you think the people of the future will think that we worshipped cats?
Yes. And dogs.
Not wrong.
You know, it's like we have all these memes of cats, and we have all these cat memes and all these videos about cats. Do you think the people of the future will think we worship cats? Like, did the ancient Egyptians actually worship cats, or are they actually a joke? Like, hey, here's a pharaoh, and look, cat.
They'll think some cultures worship cats, some worship dogs, and the lower race
Birds.
Frogs.
No, birds.
And then birds.
There's way more bird videos than there are frog videos.
Dude, there's so many frog memes. What are you talking about? It's like,
I wasn't talking about memes. I was talking about videos.
he's talking about memes.
I'm
This
talking
image
about
confuses me.
I'm talking about both memes and videos. So you're both half wrong.
Well, I mean, I feel like cats are like the high race, and then there's like dog memes, and then you got the frogs and the birds are pretty up there, but they're
Becky,
still
let me
under.
finish.
This image confuses me.
Yeah, I don't like that. Is that it's mega?
That's Mega Revolution gone wrong.
Like a Rita. Help.
Thank you, Japan.
Thank you for Japan for being you. You scare us.
What? He just has a fucking picture of Snivy puking.
What is
I
that?
don't. What the fuck?
Show them that, please.
Oh, that's actually accurate to the game. I'm not gonna lie.
What is it?
It's some in Mystery Dungeon Sky when you fucking feed them the fucking berry juice until all their stats are all fucking high.
I don't like that. Stop
He's
it.
the one who made that thing! He's the one who made the fucking fucking mean? Where is it? That one.
Oh, I
Amanda,
have
why?
that.
Amanda, why?
You know what? It's like an hour away till midnight, and I am definitely for sure now. I'm gonna have nightmares. Thank you.
Hold on, I gotta send. I'm just gonna send this whole gallery because this whole gallery is amazing.
All right, well,
Oh, jeez.
we'll have fun with that at our own time, Amanda. So the commission is completely done. I just sent it to Cloudy. If he needs any tweaks done, I'll probably do that at my own time. But yeah, I think for now that'll do it for. We'll call it now for this stream. So because I need to go eat Taco Bell. I'll probably maybe in a few hours or so I'll do another stream where I continue working on Crosby's commission. So until then, thank you all for watching and thank you all for listening to us ramble, and then we'll see you guys. If not in a few hours, I actually don't know when, because I probably won't stream tomorrow. So we'll see you guys whenever.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
Later.